Hello and good evening, everybody. Welcome to Finlay Field on the campus of Roseburg High School. Tonight we bring you Roseburg High football. The Indians tonight welcome in the Springfield Millers. It's senior night. The Indians welcoming out onto the field their seniors to celebrate here before the game, and now we are getting ready for kickoff as we wrap up the regular season with one final game here at Finlay Field. Roseburg welcomes in the Millers to finish out the 2021 regular season. Good evening, everybody. I'm Joey Kieran. Thanks so much for joining us here on this wonderful Friday night here in the Umpqua Basin. The rains have held off here this afternoon, but I just went ahead and probably jinxed it there. It's looking like a pretty nice night. Very fall-alike out here this evening as temperatures are rather crisp, but we are excited for some football here tonight. Roseburg looking to bounce back after their first loss of the season. Last week we had a fantastic, an instant classic ball game between Roseburg and Sheldon here on homecoming night at Finlay Field. The Sheldon Irish prevail 49-47 as they blocked the game-winning field goal attempt by Roseburg in the closing seconds. A little bit of controversy, which we will address here in the pregame show, but we had a fantastic game where Roseburg proved itself amongst the state's elite in the 6A classification, and now they look to bounce back and get things right before they begin their first playoff run since 2014. Meanwhile, on the other side, the Springfield Millers coming in 3-6 on their season. It's been a tough one in the second year under head coach Miles Haley. His program is young, and they're trying to put all the pieces together, and we'll have more to talk about them as we get ready for tonight's kickoff. Joining me tonight, Clayton Brelich here in the booth, and back in the studio, Ben Hill running the radio production for us here tonight. Also helping out this evening, Gabe Rasmussen with us as we get ready to bring you Roseburg High football tonight here on The Score. So stick around, folks. Want to let you know tonight's game is streaming live online at 541radio.com, or you can watch on our YouTube channel. Search 1490 The Score, subscribe, and be able to follow Roseburg High sports all season long. We'll go ahead and take a break and come back with more of your Roseburg Disposal pregame show. You can let them make the run to the dump for you. That's Roseburg Disposal, 673-7122. Back with Roseburg football on The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device, or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage.
Buy One, Get One is back at the Roseburg Jiffy Lube. Purchase the signature service oil change at Roseburg Jiffy Lube and be treated to a second one absolutely free. The Trick or Treat BOGO deal, buy one, get one in October from the Roseburg Jiffy Lube. Are your wipers bouncing, streaking, or smearing now that the rain is here? Well, come to the Roseburg Jiffy Lube for a free windshield Rain-X treatment with the purchase of new wipers. Stay safe on the road with the team at Roseburg Jiffy Lube on Garden Valley next to Champion Car Wash.
Get ready to satisfy your dessert cravings with Mountain Mike's new mini churros. These delicious bite-sized churros are the perfect dessert to pair with your favorite Mountain Mike's pizza, made with only the freshest and finest ingredients, dough made fresh daily with 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese, and toppings to the edge. For limited time only, get 16 mini churros for the whole family for only $4.99. Don't wait. Order yours today for dine-in, carry-out, or delivery.
The Roseburg High Marching Band out on the field as we get ready for tonight's matchup. Roseburg welcomes in the Springfield Millers as we bring you more of tonight's Roseburg Disposal pregame show. You can let them make the run to the dump for you. That's Roseburg Disposal, 673-7122. Got a chance to actually meet some of the members of the Roseburg High Marching Band earlier this week on our Wednesday night program from Mountain Mike's Pizza, the DC Sports Spotlight. Danielle Wright and Tegan Phelps joining us on the program on Wednesday night. You can listen back to that interview that we did earlier this week by heading to 541radio.com and catching it there. It's cool to get to learn a little bit more about marching band. There's a ton I did not know, and they've got a competition coming up tomorrow down up at Sherwood. So good luck to the Roseburg High Marching Band as they get ready for that. Welcoming into the broadcast here tonight with me, Clayton Brelage, as we get ready for tonight's matchup, senior night. Do you remember senior night? It was just a couple of years for you, but your senior year was the year that everything turned upside down. So did you have much of a senior celebration?
So actually I got hurt that year.
Oh, that's right.
So I had shoulder surgery, so I wasn't able to participate in football that year.
Well, that's too bad. I apologize. Bringing up some sore subjects there.
It's all good.
Clayton joining us here. Clayton, boy, we got treated to a fantastic ball game last week, and it feels like it's been ages ago. We were talking about this as we were getting things set up here for tonight's contest. I don't know why. It's only been 7 days. Usually it is an absolute sprint to get from 1 week game to the next week's game. But the game against Sheldon 1 week ago was an absolutely just instant classic, 49-47 final score. We were setting up today, and I was just like, it feels like it's been a month since we've been here. That game with so much focus on last week's game for Roseburg that it just feels like this week is almost an afterthought for the Roseburg Indians.
Yeah, like you were saying, there was so much build-up, so much anticipation. Everybody came. The atmosphere is definitely different here tonight.
Man, I've heard so many people tell me that the stands were rocking last week. It was great. It was a fantastic ball game. But if we're feeling that way, you got to imagine the players sense that a little bit. And coaching staffs can do what they want to do to try and keep teams focused. But this week, it's not the same level of intensity. Springfield's a team that comes in 3-6, and not to take anything away from what the Millers have been doing, but 2 of their wins have been by forfeit, and 1 was a 10-0 victory against North Bend. So they're not a team that, on paper, looks to be a stiff challenge for Roseburg here tonight. But for these guys to focus, knowing that there's more coming up, what do you think this week in practice was like with Coach Heiberger and his staff to try and keep these guys focused and realizing that this week's preparation, while Springfield may be a win that they have, in their pocket by halftime or something like that, not saying that it will be, but if it were, there's still bigger things to come next week when they get their first playoff game since 2014.
Right, and it's not to overlook this game, but you're definitely trying to fix the adjustments going into the playoffs. You're looking 2 weeks ahead and seeing that other team and trying to figure out what you can do to prepare for them as well.
How impressed were you with what we saw last week between Roseburg and Sheldon? I keep thinking that we all know Sheldon's a powerhouse. They've got a reputation for a reason. They are always in the conversation of teams that'll be there in the playoffs, late in the playoffs, after a couple of rounds have gone by. And Roseburg was right there with them toe-to-toe. I saw one mention that Roseburg had a shaky defense. They gave up 49 against Sheldon, most points they'd given up all season. Did you feel coming away from that Roseburg's defense has to figure out some things as they get ready for the postseason?
A little bit, but I also feel like Brock Thomas and that offense they're a powerhouse like always, and so I think it's definitely a hard matchup to do anytime. But I feel like they played all right. They're definitely in practice this week, fixing a couple things. But for the most part, I think Sheldon's just a powerhouse.
Colton Marsters, the senior quarterback / safety for Roseburg, did tell me that their focus this week has been heavily on the defense. We've got to get in more breaks as we continue on with our Roseburg Disposal pregame show, but here come the Indians. They'll take the field for senior night as we get ready to go. Roseburg and Springfield, more of the Roseburg Disposal pregame show when we return on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Get ready to satisfy your dessert cravings with Mountain Mike's new mini churros. These delicious bite-sized churros are the perfect dessert to pair with your favorite Mountain Mike's pizza, made with only the freshest and finest ingredients, dough made fresh daily with 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese, and toppings to the edge. For limited time only, get 16 mini churros for the whole family for only $4.99. Don't wait. Order yours today for dine-in, carry-out, or delivery.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. how to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
I am a nurse,
a firefighter,
a college student,
a mother,
and I am an American soldier.
I will always be ready
for every storm
and disaster that threatens my community.
I will always be there to protect my neighbors,
my family,
and my country.
We are the Army National Guard.
We are the Army National Guard.
We are the Army National Guard.
Visit nationalguard.com to learn more about part-time service.
As a doctor, I kept myself safe from COVID.
Joey Kieran, Clayton Brelich here with you on this Friday night. 54 degrees as we get ready for kickoff. Back in the studio, Ben assuring us that unless this game goes into early Saturday morning, we should be dry throughout tonight's contest. Teams are out there for the coin flip. We'll have all the details with you when we come back. This will wrap up the Roseburg Disposal pregame show. So Roseburg and Springfield kicking off when we come back on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool. On the field. Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah!
Be great.
Participate!
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
Buy One, Get One is back at the Roseburg Jiffy Lube. Purchase the signature service oil change at Roseburg Jiffy Lube and be treated to a second one absolutely free. The Trick or Treat BOGO deal, buy one, get one in October from the Roseburg Jiffy Lube. Are your wipers bouncing, streaking, or smearing now that the rain is here? Well, come to the Roseburg Jiffy Lube for a free windshield Rain-X treatment with the purchase of new wipers. Stay safe on the road with the team at Roseburg Jiffy Lube on Garden Valley next to Champion Car Wash.
The 7-1 Roseburg Indians ranked number 11 in the OSAA power rankings and just dropping out of the top 10 in the latest OSAA coaches poll. Roseburg in at number 11 in that one. Taking on the Springfield Millers tonight, 3-6 on the season, 3-4 in Midwestern League play. Roseburg lost their last game. That snapped the second longest winning streak in the 6A class, actually the longest winning streak in the 6A classification. Springfield comes in, they've lost their last two. Joey Kieran and Clayton Brelich here with you. Roseburg will be kicking off right to left on your radio dial, wearing their home black uniforms, the white tops, the navy blue pants. For the Millers on the other side, they'll be returning the ball left to right. A short little pooch kick, still inbound, will go out on the far side of the field, and we are underway in tonight's contest. Roseburg will send out the defense to start out tonight's ball game. Last year, Roseburg and Springfield, they played in the regular season finale in that spring 2021 season, and Roseburg without a win at that time, offense struggling quite a bit. They finished out the season with a 42-0 win over Springfield, had a 28-0 lead at the end of the first quarter. And so we'll see what Roseburg has for us here tonight. That was a much different Roseburg team. Starting at quarterback was Evan Corbin and not Colton Marsters. Marsters did score a couple of touchdowns, though, in that game. Defense will come out. They pitched a shutout last time they took on the Millers. They'll try to do it again here tonight. Springfield will have the football at their own 35-yard line. For Springfield, in at quarterback is going to be the sophomore Caleb Kasparek. And he'll fumble on the first play. Ball still on the floor. He kicks it forward. It's recovered by Roseburg. It's Logan Kloffenstein, the senior, that is going to come up with the football. And Clayton, I don't know if there's a better way to start out a football game than getting a takeaway.
There is definitely not at all.
Well, the senior getting in on the action. Caleb Kasparek mishandling the snap, fumbles it on the first possession of the game. It goes right back to the line of scrimmage. So no gain on the play, a fumble, turnover by Springfield, and Roseburg will have it with just 5 seconds ticked off the clock. Have it at the Springfield 35. The offense on the field. They hand it off. Caden Eckel up the middle, slips the tackle from the safety, cuts it back to his left, slips nearly through another tackle, gets brought down just inside the 15-yard line, down to about the 12 for Caden Eckel. And Roseburg on first down will get their offense a first down carry down to the 12. That is a pickup of 23 on the run by Caden Eckel, the sophomore looking to try and eclipse 1,000 yards here tonight. He comes into this evening's contest needing 142 to break 4 digits. Colton Marsters eclipsing the 1,000-yard mark last week, as he comes into tonight's game with 1,182 yards rushing. Last week had a season high in passing yardage at 272. The senior quarterback sets up in shotgun. He's got Eckel to his right, fakes the handoff, looks to pass once, goes on a slant route to Logan Kloffenstein, who was open, but the pass dropped for the incompletion. And that'll be second down and 10 from the 12 for Roseburg. Up along the front line, Hayden Snyder, Kyler Mills, James Coleman, Daniel Thomas, Tiger Black. Your offensive lineman up there along Silas Kincaid will get Chime up there, and he is in at right tackle here tonight. Out in the wide receiver core, Dominic Tatone, Logan Kloffenstein, Hayden Horton, and Landon Duper. It's a handoff up the middle for Eckel. Through the middle, continues to carry the pile from Springfield, and the sophomore running back takes it down to the 4-yard line on a carry of 8. And he's got all the yardage so far for the Roseburg offense. Good to see Caden Eckel back out on the field for Roseburg here to start out tonight's ball game. And Roseburg's going to go quick. They'll run left side and in for the touchdown. Roseburg will punch it in and take the early lead with the run there by Caden Eckel.
That was fast, and I think we're going to see a ton of that. It's good to see Caden Eckel back, and I think we're just going to pound the football today.
Well, they started with a short field, only having 35 yards to go, but Eckel gets it in from 4 yards out. And now the PAT kick here from senior Jackson Bartlett. We'll get a chance to try and put this one through with 11:07 to go here in the first quarter.
Hit off his own guy, I believe.
Dang. Well, that's not continuing a trend that they want to see from the kicking game. The kick no good. It is a 6-0 lead. Roseburg in front with 11:07 to go here in the first quarter. So Roseburg comes out, marches 35 yards to the end zone, and will take a 6-0 lead here in the first quarter against the Springfield Millers. And we're seeing Caden Eckel back out there. Didn't see him a lot last week. It was kind of interesting. Roseburg passing a lot last week. We didn't see a whole lot of the ground game other than Colton Marsters running the ball sometimes last week.
Yeah, you said he had 2 career highs in passing yards and passing attempts, so it was definitely the most we have ever seen him pass, and I think he did all right for the first time all season, really, him throwing the football.
Yeah, I think we expected that Sheldon was going to come into that game trying to put the game in the arm of Colton Marsters. He hasn't been asked to try and throw the ball too heavily all season, and I think Springfield was coming out to try and make him do so, and I think he passed a really big milestone there with what he was able to do last week. Touchdown run by Eckel from 4 yards out. He covers all 35 yards needed there for Roseburg. Bartlett will kick one deep. It goes by the return man and into the end zone for a touchback. So that'll be Springfield football. They'll bring it out of the end zone and have it for a second time after they fumbled on their first possession. The fumble by the quarterback, Caleb Kasparek, a sophomore. On the snap, gave it right back, and getting the fumble recovery was Logan Klopfenstein. From our advanced scouting here, front line, I think you can expect to see Caden Van Etten, Diego Medina, Cody Henshin, Chase Sattler, a guy that is getting some looks, a senior on that front line, getting some looks from some D3 schools in the state, and a sophomore, Nate Williams, your front line for this Springfield team. In the backfield, you'll see some Connor Dye, some Julian Gomez back there right now. It is Dye out there who's going to try and block as the quarterback will run it on a keeper. Goes back to the line of scrimmage at the 20. Not a lot of room there to run for quarterback Caleb Kasparek. Wide receivers do we expect to see, and the tight end here tonight for the Millers, Caleb Lemley, Dwayne Fada, Jordan Vega, and Zach Sherman. Some of the names we've been noticing throughout this season for the Millers. First down carry, they tried to, I think, eliminate the handoff after the trouble on the first play around. Try to eliminate that handoff and get the quarterback runner there.
It would definitely be interesting because I was watching them warm up, and they weren't doing a whole lot of QB runs. It was more of a handoff, so it's going to be definitely fun to watch to see what the defense can do tonight.
They actually spot him out to the 21, so it'll be a pickup of 1 on the ground for Kasparek. He'll set up in shotgun, empty backfield. Twins to the right, trips to the left, looking to pass out to the left. They go on the tunnel screen intended for Caleb Lemley out there, but he had a defender right on his back, and well played by Roseburg's defense as they sniff it out.
Yeah, they definitely seem to have a lot more energy. I think they're coming off the loss. They're pretty hyped up and ready to go.
Out there on the defensive side for Roseburg, up on the front line, Tiger Black, an all-league guy last year. He could be an all-stater this year, leading the Southwest Conference in sacks. Also, he's number 4 in the state in tackles for loss based off the stat information I was able to find. Silas Kincaid, James Coleman up there with him. Knox Hubbard, the senior in the middle at the linebacker position, along with senior Braden Steinacre, outside linebackers Klopfenstein and Gillespie. Shotgun snap with a man to his left. Kasparek, he's got nowhere to go. Roseburg sends the house, and he gets trapped in the backfield. I think one of the first jerseys there was Logan Klopfenstein. That'll take down Caleb Kasparek on 3rd down and 10, or 3rd down and 9. They drop him back to the 16-yard line. It's a loss of 4 on the play, and Roseburg able to really put the screws to this Springfield offense.
With such a young running quarterback with a sophomore back there, I think we're going to see a lot of blitzing to see what he can do back there.
Yeah, I think they're going to try and really see if they can just take it to the Springfield offense here early on. Punt unit out. Snap is good. Kick is away. Low line drive kick. Carson Dunn there to return it. Fumbles it, but picks it up. He's got momentum at the 35. Gets to the near side. Dancing his blockers shape up in front of him, and he'll get spun out of bounds right around the 20-yard line. They'll put him out at the 18, and Roseburg has better field position than they did the first possession of the ball game. After a 3-and-out for the Millers, Roseburg will get the ball back with 9:17 to go here in the first quarter, and they'll have the football at the Springfield 13-yard line. Actually, make it the 18, the 18-yard line. So Roseburg 18 yards to go to try and score for a second time. They lead 6-0, and a timeout taken down on the field. Timeout by the Springfield Millers. We'll go ahead and take one as well. 30-second break. This is Roseburg football leading 6-0 in the first quarter against Springfield on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Deciding where to purchase your next vehicle is just as important as the vehicle itself. At Roseburg Honda, our seasoned staff is dedicated to matching you with the right car. From sales to service, our goal is to make sure all of your needs are met, and you leave our dealership feeling good every time you visit. No need to waste your valuable time driving up and down the freeway when the ultimate car buying experience is right here at home. Roseburg Honda. We treat you like family.
Out of the timeout, Roseburg with 1st down and 10 at the Springfield 18. We're going to get a legal ID in just a moment here after this first play for Roseburg as they set up. Out of the timeout, Caden Eckel to the right of Colton Marsters. Snyder, Mills, Coleman, Thomas, and Kincaid up there on the front line. Shotgun snap to Marsters. 3 targets to his right, looking that direction. Pump fake once, goes to the shorter route. It's Hayden Horton. It was open, but the pass just offline for Colton Marsters. Let's go ahead and pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Roseburg football on The Score. Second down, they hand off to Eckel. Things open up. He'll run right side. The sophomore down to the 11-yard line as he gets tackled there. They'll spot him now forward to the 10. It'll be a pickup of 8 on the ground for Caden Eckel. Eckel now up to 11 touchdown runs. He got his first one last week. He had, unfortunately, last week had his string of 100-yard games snapped last week. Only played a half of football, though. His run sets it up. Third down and a yard from the 10-yard line. About 2 yards to go. Move to Tone in motion. Going to pass easy right up the middle. The seam route is there for Logan Kloffenstein. And Roseburg's in again. It's 12-0. The Indians on top. Now, that was easy pitch and catch there for Logan Kloffenstein.
That's his 4th touchdown of the season.
TD pass from 10 yards out. And for Colton Marsters, that's his 10th of the season through the air. Here in the first quarter, first completion for Marsters as well. Now they're going to try and kick it through again. Bartlett this time gets a little bit more elevation to it. He'll put it through the uprights for the PAT. 13-0 is your score here with 8:39 to go in the first quarter. Let's take another 30-second break and come back from Roseburg High School. The Indians leading the Millers 13-0 on 541radio.com and on The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Buy one, get one is back at the Roseburg Jiffy Lube. Purchase the signature service oil change at Roseburg Jiffy Lube and be treated to a second one absolutely free. The Trick or Treat BOGO deal, buy one, get one in October from the Roseburg Jiffy Lube. Are your wipers bouncing, streaking, or smearing now that the rain is here? Well, come to the Roseburg Jiffy Lube for a free windshield Rain-X treatment with the purchase of new wipers. Stay safe on the road with the team at Roseburg Jiffy Lube on Garden Valley next to Champion Car Wash.
3 plays, 18 yards. It took all of 38 seconds for Roseburg to get their second score on the board. A 10-yard touchdown strike from Colton Marsters to Logan Kloffenstein. 13-0 our score. Joey Kieran and Clayton Brelich here with you. Tonight's game brought to you by Bigfoot Beverages of Roseburg, a locally owned family business, proud sponsor of local sports and focused on community events. The kickoff by Bartlett. Clayton, we've been seeing a lot of games together. I don't think we've really seen Jackson Bartlett launch it deep that often. He usually goes with the short punt, pooch kick, but this time kicks it into the end zone.
Yeah, I think that's his only second or third touchback we've seen all year. So,
second one here tonight is the first one I don't think was intended to. It was a low-line drive kick that just carried to the end zone after it wasn't recovered by the Millers, and they'll get it back out at their own 20 again. So far, Springfield, they fumbled on their first play of the game, went 3 and out on their second possession, and were -4 yards on that drive. They come out for a third time, looking to try and get some momentum going on the offensive side of the ball. 13-0 is your score. The shotgun snap handed off, running left side of the formation. That is Connor Dye, the sophomore back. I remember seeing him last year when Roseburg played them up at Springfield, and he's a guy that looks shifty, can run pretty well.
Yeah, he's kind of like Caden Eckel. He's kind of a little shorter, but he's definitely got some moves.
He picks up 1 on that carry. Could not slip this quick defense from Roseburg. And I think after maybe having their defense, maybe picked a little bit because they gave up 49 last week, they may be out here trying to prove something today. We'll set up with a 3-man front, sending the blitz with Hubbard. He was into the backfield. That redirected the path for the running back. Nowhere to go as everything closes on the carry. It's Julian Gomez, the junior, losing yardage back inside the 20.
I definitely feel like what you were saying earlier about the defense being ready to go. I've already seen 2 blitzes, and the whole last week I saw maybe 3 or 4, so I definitely think they're ready to go.
Tackle for loss for Roseburg. Losing 2 on the play was Gomez. It'll set him up 3rd down and long here. 3rd and 11. So far, Springfield The 21-yard line is as far as they've gotten out there. It's still early in this ballgame, a lot of way to go, and obviously they're trying to figure some things out against this speedy Roseburg defense, and here comes the house, it looks like. They've got everybody within a yard of the line of scrimmage. They do send a lot of pressure. Passing, and that one overthrown, incomplete. Boy.
Looks like they're just trying to suffocate him right now.
Yeah, what do you do when they send 8 guys into the box to pressure you and your offensive line can't block everybody that's coming? They tried to go to the pass and a quick one to find a man open because you know there's an advantage somewhere. You just got to find the time to get it to a guy.
Yeah, and we've been playing good man coverage on the outside when we do send those blitzes. So right now it's just been hard for him to get anything going.
Kasparak's pass is incomplete. And it sets up 4th down and 11. The punt unit back out for Springfield. Roseburg returned it well last time on the kick return by Carson Dunn. This one almost blocked, running into the punter, and with it, Dunn at the 48. I don't see a penalty flag out. Now I see one on the return. Dunn has it right side. He's going to score, but this one could be coming back. Carson Dunn takes it to the house. The senior is in the end zone. We'll wait to see what the penalty flag is. I'm surprised there's no flag back where the punter was. He got leveled by Silas Kincaid, but they let it play.
I saw the ref. He was doing we tipped the ball, so he blocked it. So as soon as you block it, you can run into him and do whatever you want.
There you go. That's a good catch on that one. And the kickoff, the punt return, went for a touchdown, about 52 yards for Carson Dunn, but it does not look like it's going to stand as Roseburg's headed back onto their own half of the 50. Wait for the call here.
It was blocking the back.
Was it? Okay. I was going to say, it looks like they may have announced it and I was looking the wrong direction. So Roseburg's going to get the football with 6:54 to go here in the first quarter, already a 13-0 lead. Their worst starting field position of the game as they'll start on their own half of the 50. They'll back the ball up. The penalty was at the 48 on Springfield's half of the field. So they're going to set this one up at the Roseburg, I want to say 42-yard line is where they plan to put that football.
It's been good to see Kay Nichols' ankle looks good. He's been out there juking and jiving, so I think it's a lot better than it has been the last couple weeks.
2 punts, by Springfield as Roseburg will set up at their own 42-yard line after the penalty.
You've got offensive linemen set out there on the right.
They've got a fancy formation here, and it's not going to work as Roseburg's going to move up along the front line. A new number up there as well. That is Teague Barron, I believe, who is out there on the offensive line. You had Hayden Snyder on the near side out, set up like an offensive lineman in front of Dominic Tatone.
And we're running it again.
So they've got 3 linemen in at the normal position. 2 guards in the center. They've got an offensive lineman spread out to the wide side, a tackle to either side. Now they're moving Dominic Tatone in motion. This is just crazy. What are they thinking up here? Pump fake, rolls out of the pocket, over the middle, finds Duper. He's got speed. I don't know if they're going to catch him at the 25, the 20. The safety will not get him. Touchdown, Landon Duper. The formation was wild. The play is a good one. And Roseburg, after backing up 5 yards on the penalty, just stretches it out a little bit further. And that is going to be a big one there for Landon Duper. And Roseburg is rolling here in the first quarter. I've never seen a formation like that.
You almost feel like coming off the loss of Sheldon, we're coming out, or Roseburg's coming out here with just throwing everything out here. They're trying to prove something, that they're a lot better than they showed last week is what it feels like.
So the TD pass is going to be a 63-yarder. The PAT is good. 20-0, Springfield trailing Roseburg. They'll be getting the ball when we come back after another quick 30-second break. Roseburg, another big play, and for Colton Marsters, his 2nd touchdown pass of the night. For Landon Duper, it's his 5th touchdown grab of the season. 30-second break, back with more of the first quarter on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Get ready to satisfy your dessert cravings with Mountain Mike's new mini churros. These delicious bite-sized churros are the perfect dessert to pair with your favorite Mountain Mike's pizza. Made with only the freshest and finest ingredients. Dough made fresh daily with 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings to the edge. For limited time only, get 16 mini churros for the whole family for only $4.99. Don't wait. Order yours today for dine-in, carry-out, or delivery.
6:42 to go in the first quarter. That last drive for Roseburg, one play. It took 12 seconds. A 63-yard touchdown strike for Landon Duper from Colton Marsters. For Marsters, that's his new longest touchdown pass of the season as he hits Landon Duper in stride, and his speed takes him to the house. The kickoff away, 20-0 your score. Springfield trailing. They'll let this one go into the end zone once again and start at their own 20-yard line. Well, Clayton, as I went back and rewatched the Springfield game last year, it was the final game of the season. We were jamming things in. I think we may have already, I'm trying to remember, I don't think they I'm trying to remember how it worked last year in that spring season, but I think sports overlapped a little bit. So I might have already been getting into the next season, and so I never did do my full stats on it. And I went back and watched it again, and last year Springfield, they had 56 total yards against Roseburg last year.
Oh, wow, that's not a good number that you want to see at all.
You think maybe Roseburg tried to do better here? So far, they're on track to try and beat that number here tonight. Springfield with the ball at their own 20-yard line. Low snap. It's a keeper. Now going to pass out to the far side. Caught. And Dunn comes up to make the stop. A penalty flag is out on the play. The ball was caught by Gomez on the pass by Kasparek, who initially looked like he was going to run, got to the line of scrimmage, and then fired it out to the far sideline. But the penalty flag at the line of scrimmage, and it looks like it's going to be against Springfield.
That would have been their longest gain of the game today.
Unfortunately, this looks like it's going to back them up. They haven't been penalized. Roseburg's been the team with all the penalties so far. So they'll back him up 10 yards, holding penalty there. It'll go back to the 10-yard line. Be first down and 20 for the Millers. 73 yards through the air, 2 of 4 for Colton Marsters already here tonight. And I was going to look up, that's the longest touchdown reception of the season for Landon Duper. If it's the longest touchdown pass for Colton Marsters, that has to be a new record setter there for Duper as well. Roseburg 3-man front, not showing nearly as much pressure here. It's first down and 20. Kasparek alone in shotgun. 3 targets to his right. The snap goes into the end zone. Dive for it, and the quarterback will get back on the football for a safety. And Roseburg's going to add to their lead here in the first quarter. Just things not, I think the pressure building on this Millers team here in the first quarter.
Springfield also has a sophomore center, so he's the one making calls up front for blitz protection and all that stuff. So he's pretty young, trying to cover all this. I'm sure it's rough.
That front line has definitely been putting the pressure on. And Roseburg will get the safety, adds 2 points to their total. And that'll be 22-0 now. Roseburg in front. Again, last year they led 28-0 at the end of the first quarter. But here a 10-yard loss on that bad snap, leading to the points there. Hey, going on tonight, we are in a non-league game. Roseburg wrapped up their Southwest Conference schedule, but there are games going on in the Southwest Conference tonight. Sheldon at Grants Pass. Every Roseburg fan everywhere is keeping their fingers crossed that somehow, some way, Grants Pass upsets Sheldon in the final game of the regular season, and maybe, just maybe, that helps put Roseburg in as a co-league champion. Right now, Sheldon needs to win against Grants Pass, and they would be the outright league champion in the Southwest Conference this year. The other one, big matchup at Spiegelberg tonight, North Medford, South Medford, Black and Blue Bowl, the annual rivalry, and it is for third place and an automatic playoff berth between the two teams. The winner between North and South gets that final automatic berth out of the Southwest Conference into the playoffs. So big matchup there between the Black Tornado and the Panthers. That's always a big matchup.
Oh, yeah. It's always a big matchup, and then you add a playoff spot, and it just amplifies it even more.
Big time. The kickoff, it's a punt kick coming from the 20 after the safety. It's going to be a return for Klopfenstein from the 37. Fakes the handoff to Duper, going to take it up the middle. He's into open territory. Number 3 on the season, Logan Klopfenstein takes it to the house, and Roseburg adds another touchdown here in the first quarter. The score is good, and Logan Klopfenstein, you know what I looked up and found out too, Clayton? I think it was against Springfield last year. Klopfenstein actually had a kickoff return last year as well. So that is now 4 in his career, his 3rd this season. And that one, he takes that one from about about another 63-yard touchdown there for Roseburg on the kickoff return. Oh, boy.
And they continue with the trickery. You see the fake handoff there in the back.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
5:56 to go in the first quarter. It's a PAT is good. It's 29-0. Roseburg in front, and they have, with 5:56 to go, outdone what they did last year. So we'll stop bringing that one up. A 67-yard kickoff return by Logan Kloffenstein, and the PAT good by Jackson Bartlett. 29-0. And they've done it in... 6 minutes and 4 seconds. They've done it in less than a quarter of just.
Do you have the time of possession for Springfield yet?
I could probably do some math. It will probably come out incorrectly because I'm just terrible at that. But yeah. So we'll see how this continues to go. And look, I think we knew that this was a game that could possibly get out of hand. Colton Marster's telling me this week in my preview story that this is a week where, obviously, if things continue on this trajectory, some of the younger guys that have been spending time on the sidelines going to get a chance to continue with practice with the playoffs coming up. They may get a chance to be out on the field on senior night to finish out the regular season.
Yeah, I know as a freshman and a sophomore, I got out here a little bit, and going into my junior year, the year I played, it definitely helped because you actually understood the pace of the game a lot easier.
Kyle Valou gets a chance to run out there late on the kickoff return coverage. The kickoff goes to the 6-yard line. The return man for Springfield will fall short of the 20. Taken down, it is senior Griffin Zymet that comes up and makes the stop. He's been a big special teams player all season long. Call his name out plenty during some of those kickoff return coverages. The return goes out to the 18-yard line. That is where Springfield will have the football. They do so with 5:51 to go, first quarter here.
I expect to see more blitzes.
Well, and then the question I start asking myself is how soon do we start to see some other guys get out there? But it looks like many of the starters still out there. Kloffenstein, Hubbard, Steinacre out there in the linebacker crew, and Gillespie. But Griffin Zymet getting in as a safety, taking over for Colton Marsters. And that is going to, I think, become a bit of an evident thing, is that you also have to make sure you protect your guys for next week when the playoffs do get started. And Colton Marsters, a big piece of what Roseburg does. He's on the bench for defense and does not know it's a keeper. Good fake here by Kasparek, and he's going to have a first down carry. Hit out of bounds by Carson Dunn into the sideline. He took a big hit as he goes out at the 30. It's a pickup of 12, I believe, on the carry for Kasparek, and he'll move the chains. Not too bad. A great fake. Roseburg bit down on that one. I thought they had cleaned the runner, the ball carrier, cleaned him up in the backfield, but in fact, it was a great fake.
Yeah, even I was looking at the running back, so faked all of us.
He takes that one out to the 30-yard line. That is a pickup of 12 on the run by the quarterback, Caleb Kasparek. Gets him into positive yardage.
Linebackers creeping up again.
They are showing that pressure. Handoff this time will go up the middle, back to the line of scrimmage for Connor Dye, the sophomore. Not a lot of room to run there. And Dye, let me double check here. Yeah, still a sophomore. We saw him last year as a freshman in that game against Roseburg. So this is a young team for Springfield. You mentioned it. The center is a sophomore. The starting quarterback is sophomore. Running back is sophomore. The other running back we've mentioned is a junior. Not a lot of seniors out there on the field for this Springfield team. So they're taking some lumps, but we've seen that with Roseburg football the last couple of years. It can pay off in the long run.
Yeah, definitely. I played on a couple teams with only one senior, so I definitely know the feeling.
They give him out to the 31, so Dye did get 1 yard on the carry. Rolling to his right, Kasparek pointing downfield, going to pass, has a man open, but in and out of the hands for Zach Sherman, the intended target. Oh, like there, we have not seen things go right for Springfield, but the quarterback out there directing traffic, looking confident, running with the ball and throwing downfield, and he put that ball in a pretty good spot. His receiver just didn't come up with it.
Yeah, I think the more that we blitz, and like we saw there, they're going over the middle. That's the perfect spot to be. There's no more linebackers, so I think they're starting to figure it out a little bit.
It'll be third down and long, though. They did get their first down of the game as Springfield will be at their own 31-yard line. They huddle up and get ready to break here. Roseburg tonight honoring 16 seniors before tonight's ball game, and we'll get a chance to honor them coming up during our halftime show. We'll run through all of today's seniors that were out there honored. Roseburg mixing a lot of things up at the line of scrimmage. Now they will blitz. A lot of protection in. Lofted downfield. 50-50 ball. Incomplete. Down the far sideline again, intended for Sherman. Just look at how many guys they devoted to staying in and pass blocking on that third down play.
Yeah, and when they're bouncing around like that, we call it stimming, when they start in one spot and they move right before the play. So they're doing a lot of that. And I also wonder with the seniors how long they're going to play them, because it is senior night, but you do not want to get them hurt. So it's going to be interesting to see that.
So Roseburg will set up in punt return again after the incompletion. There'll be 4 plays this time and out for the Millers. Roseburg sending a lot of pressure trying to get in there. They will not get the block. The kick goes to the far sideline, and it looked like it hit right on the edge of the sideline at the 39-yard line. So Roseburg will get the football. A better series for Springfield. They wear off, though, just about a minute and 4 seconds. They don't really wear a ton of time off the clock. 4:47 to go, still in the first quarter. Roseburg with it at their own 39-yard line. Marsters in at quarterback still, and his day not quite done yet. It's still only the first quarter, crazy to say, but Roseburg leading 29-0. Eckel to his left, trips to the near side. Hayden Horton alone on the right side. It's a give off to Eckel up the middle. He makes a couple of guys miss, stumbles his way into the secondary, collides with the safety. A penalty flag out near the line of scrimmage. It's about 3 yards beyond the line of scrimmage. And the official Whitecap here tonight going to give us a signal. It was a first down carry for Roseburg. According to their body language, this one looks like it's coming back.
Got a holding on the offense.
So Roseburg, they will back him up 10 yards from the spot of the foul, which looked like at about the 43. So they'll put it back at the 33-yard line. Overall, a loss of 6 yards on that first down play. They'll replay first down.
Knox Hubbard just checked in for Cade Neckel.
They'll go into the pistol formation. Not a lot of coverage on Logan Klopfenstein, and I think Klopp is really wanting to indicate that he wants the football. And he'll get it quick. Soft cushion on him. He makes the first man miss, slips through an ankle tackle, dives forward out to the 41. They won't quite give him that spot. Just shy of the 40 is where they'll put him. So officially to the 39-yard line, a pickup of 6 on the pass play to Klopfenstein. Second down and 10 as they make up the penalty yardage. 3 for 5 through the air for Marsters in pistol. Hands it off. Eckel running right side will do a stutter step through the middle of the line, just right across the line of scrimmage, falls forward for a gain of 2.
I don't expect to see a lot more passing, but with these long third downs, you never know with how much trickery we've been having tonight.
You know, and they haven't passed a lot, so I kind of wondered if they just, out of honoring the seniors, if they might try to get some of this senior wide receiving core into it. They're going to pass here on third down, and Hayden Horton is right there. He has been so sure-handed this season, come up with a lot of big plays. He doesn't have a ton of catches this year. Came into today, 7 catches, 107 yards, and a touchdown. But when they've needed him and they've gone to him, he's been there for the catch. Moves the chains, goes to the 40 on the other half of the field on the Springfield side. That's an 18-yard completion to Horton. Handed off, running right side, not going to get away from the defense, but still on his feet. And Caden Eckel continues to show he's a hard guy to bring down even when you have him wrapped up.
He's been doing that all year. He just keeps his feet churning.
Second down and a long 10 after the carry by Eckel. Does not cross the line of scrimmage. Set up with trips to the left to Tone, Duper, and Klopfenstein. Horton to the right, Eckel on the backfield with Marsters, who will roll to his left. Throws across the body, has a man open, and it's completed to Duper. Tries to tightrope down the sideline, but he can't quite stay in bounds. The defensive back goes for the pick, almost had it, but it just gets by in great concentration from Landon Duper.
We've been talking about it all year with those across-the-body passes, but they've been paying off for Roseburg so far.
That ball is going to get spotted down to the 5-yard line is where Duper is able to stay in bound to a 35-yard completion. And Roseburg will set up in shotgun, going quick here. Hand it off, Eckel, left side, touchdown! Roseburg in again here in the first quarter. They will extend it to a 35-0 lead with 2:33 to go in the first. Caden Eckel making up for lost time after only playing a half last week.
Yeah, he's getting tons of touches, and I think you're going to be right. They're starting to air it out a lot more than we've seen. So
the touchdown run comes from 5 yards out. Second touchdown of the first quarter for Caden Eckel. The PAT coming from Jackson Bartlett. Hits the left upright and goes through. Everything going right tonight for the Roseburg Indians. 36-0 your score, 2:33 to go here in the first quarter. 5-yard run by Caden Eckel puts him at 42 on the night, and that means he is now 100 yards away from hitting the 1,000-yard mark. With 2 rushing touchdowns tonight, he's at 12 on the season. Tonight's game sponsored by Dr. Lanson Randall. They're open and accepting new patients. Call them at 541-378-6694. Also by Chuck Swarman Family Auto Repair. Are you ready to go where life takes you? And by Barnes Heating and Cooling, your complete energy company. Visit barnesheatingandcooling.com or give them a call at 541-459-1545. Guess we had a visitor for a moment. Wrong booth, I'm guessing. Well,
touchback or
I was going to ask you, in a situation like this, but I don't think either of us as players experienced a situation like this. My senior year, we did not get a win. I know you had, you were a part of some of the building that led to where we're at here, where Roseburg went through some lean years. So leading 36-0 in the first quarter, I don't know what the mindset is at this point.
I have no idea, and I've never been there, so I can't tell you what it was like for me. So,
yeah, kind of a tough one to figure out there. The kickoff is going to go deep, but angled towards the sideline. Does it stay in bounds? It will. Picked up at about the 8-yard line for the return man, who goes out not that far on the return. And with 2:31 to go here in the first quarter, Springfield will have it, but deep in their own territory, starting at their own 14-yard line. Landon Duper with 2 catches so far tonight. He's at 98 yards on the evening, 132 for Marsters through the air. So Roseburg's going to pad some stats tonight.
Oh, yeah. It'd be pretty special to see Colton Marsters and Caden Eckel both reach 1,000 yards in one season. That'd be pretty cool.
It's been not in the Dave Heiberger era, they haven't had a 1,000-yard rusher for Roseburg, and this season they may end up with 2. And I think with the playoffs, some of the mini records that Roseburg High School has for football include a number of playoff games. And so you get into these playoffs, and, yeah, Roseburg's they're going to have 2,000-yard rushers for sure.
That's going to be awesome.
And a 1,000-yard passer, as Marsters definitely is going to have a chance to get there here this season as well. Looking to pass on first down. Kasparek steps up in the pocket, will escape. He gets out near the 20. They'll give him the spot there, but looked a little slow to get up at first. I think it was Dawson Gillespie coming in and laying the hit, taking Kasparek down at the 20. But a nice scramble. He'll pick up 6 yards on the gainer.
There's like 4 people there, and he just scooted right around him.
Yeah, I don't know how he squeezed right through that gap. That was a pretty nice escape there by the quarterback. Kasparek with a 6-yard play, 2nd down and 4. Set up at the 20, ball in the middle of the field. Fake a handoff, then got caught in the backfield. Nowhere to go. I think Daniel Thomas, one of the guys in there, getting in on the quarterback, along with Tiger Black as they bring down another tackle for loss. Springfield will lose yardage back to the 16.
Almost looked like a broken play. He was looking around and had nowhere to go. He just got swarmed.
So the sack takes him back 4 yards. Make it 3rd down and a long 8 here. I want to thank everybody that's tuning in and watching tonight's game, streaming live online. Thanks to sponsorship from Champion Car Wash. Appreciate their sponsorship, helping us carry Roseburg football for you here through the tail end of the season. Escaping out of the pocket again, the quarterback, new man out there for Springfield, and he's not going to have the wheels to get away. Coming up and running the football. I had that down as number 7, and I don't have a number 7 on the roster.
Well, he just subbed right back out, so it must have been just a one-play deal. I know the punt team's coming on. Never mind.
Yeah, they don't have a number 7 there. That might be number 8. Jack Wargo is another name that we thought we might see at quarterback tonight, but I do not have a number 7, so we'll try and see if we can clarify that here as tonight goes on. First quarter just about to come to an end as the punt unit out got taken down for a loss back to the 12. The kickoff is away, and it's going to angle to the sideline. Roseburg will get the football in Springfield territory with 12.1 to go here in the first quarter. Start out at the Springfield 45. So, first down and 10 from the 45 as we get the Indians offense back out on the field. One play probably will wrap up this first quarter for us here, and right now a 36-0 lead for Roseburg on top of the Millers. Now my question is, when we do probably start to see some changing, who goes in at quarterback? Last year it was Dominic Titone who played quarterback for Roseburg. Does he get a chance to play up there some? Handoff up the middle. Eckel weaving his way through the defense. One play might be enough to get another touchdown on the board. Tracked down from behind. Eckel goes to the 6-yard line. And Roseburg will have first and goal as we go to 3.6 seconds. I thought we were headed to the second quarter for sure. I'm sure they'll wind the clock here, and now we will, as Roseburg is going to have first and goal. They'll switch sides of the field. They lead 36-0 as we continue on against the Springfield Millers. When we return after this 60-second break, this is Roseburg football on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
I'm Amelia Snow. I work in the intensive care unit at Mercy Medical Center in Roseburg. I have seen the terrible damage COVID has done to my patients and their families. Without a vaccine, people of all ages can get very sick, even if they were perfectly healthy before they had COVID. The COVID vaccine is safe and effective and will reduce your risk of getting so sick you wind up at Mercy Medical. Get vaccinated, and I won't have to see you in the ICU.
Start the second quarter, 12 minutes on the board. Roseburg leads 36-0. Marsters in shotgun with Knox Hubbard to his left. The senior will get the handoff. He runs right side into a number of white jerseys on the first down and goal play. Knox Hubbard, the senior, picks up 1 yard. We welcome you back for the second quarter of tonight's Roseburg football game. This evening's contest is sponsored by B&D Meats. Whether it's for one or for many, B&D Meats in Winston has you covered. Well, good to see Knox Hubbard starting to get a chance to carry a little bit, although he comes out of the play and Eckel, that's an interesting slip up there. Eckel gets a chance to take over back behind. He's already got 2 rushing touchdowns on the night. Second down and goal from the 5. 4-man front for the Millers, running the option, pitch it out. Eckel tries to miss the first defender, came charging in, his sidestep to his left, but couldn't quite get away. They take it down to the 4-yard line on the carry. And it'll be third down and goal, 4 yards to try and pick up.
Definitely seems like Springfield's defense covers the outside run a lot better than the inside. The inside they've been getting gashed, but everything on the outside they've been doing a lot better job.
So it'll make it third down. The play, handed off, Eckel, he jukes left and in, touchdown Roseburg as they put it in once again. And they will add to their lead. 42-0 is your score pending the extra point. This time from 4 yards out for Eckel. And the sophomore getting back into the groove after limited action last week. He's already got 3 touchdown runs in this game.
You know if they have a mercy rule, like a certain point?
Well, as far as I know, the running clock is all that we have for the second half here. And whistles before the PAT coming up here. So they did throw a flag. The side judge here had his flag out.
Looked like an encroachment on the defense.
I think Roseburg might have declined it because they're kicking from the same spot.
Yeah.
So we're already here. Let's just do this. Bartlett, the right-footed kicker. The snap goes through. They hands it to Tone. He'll lay a block. Bartlett going to try and run away. He loses the football. It's still live, and Springfield will pick it up. I think that ball's still hot potatoing around, but they blow the play dead. So the try fails, and Roseburg will continue to lead 42-0. 10:46 to go here in the second quarter. Springfield will be getting the football after the upcoming kickoff. Tonight's contest is brought to you by Tim's Appliance and Mattress at the corner of Lane and South Stevens in Roseburg. 0% financing is always available. And by Roseburg Honda. If you've been waiting for the right time to get that new car, the wait is over thanks to the Honda Mash Sale at Roseburg Honda. Coming up today and tomorrow. They might be closed here today, but tomorrow will be your last day. 2 days, every single vehicle's on sale, so you want to make sure you stop by Roseburg Honda coming up tomorrow. Now, Roseburg football now leading big, even bigger here before halftime, 42-0. That was the final score last year that they got to with a touchdown in the second half against Springfield up there at Silky Field. But they'll have playoffs coming up tomorrow, or coming up next week, I should say. The rankings freeze tomorrow, but as far as I understand it, every 6A team, or every 6A game is going to be played by the end of tonight. They had a few yesterday. They've got a bunch today. Nobody's playing tomorrow. So when the rankings are set tonight, they don't officially freeze until tomorrow night at 10 o'clock, but we may have a good idea of who Roseburg's going to be playing late tonight. It's probably going to be late tonight, so we won't know before we're done on the broadcast, but we may know late tonight, early tomorrow morning, and we should know by Saturday. Kickoff away down to the 8-yard line. The return man, Gomez, trying to follow his blocker, got out to the 20, will stretch it across to the 21-yard line. And that is where the Millers will head out there to take over with 10:40 to go in this first half. So we've seen one first down so far for the Millers. They're trying to piece some things together here. They'll send the offense back out. Coming up at halftime, we will take a look at some of the stats for you. We're going to try and piece together some score updates for you. We'll run through all the games that are going on. And if you've got score updates that you'd like to share along with us for any games around the Umpqua Basin and also games going on in the Southwest Conference, if you've got any updates, let us know. We'd love to hear them. Find us on the 541 Radio app. Download the 541 Radio app. Take the station with you wherever you go and hit us up in the activity stream there. First down and 10 from the 21-yard line. In shotgun. Snap to the quarterback with the number 7 that we do not know. Well, that's hopefully try and find that out. He's going to run over to the sideline to get the play, and this is what Springfield does. They do run to the sideline to get the play and run back to the huddle. The incompletion there for number 7.
We're talking about mindset earlier, and you know that going into playoffs, not every game is like this. So I guarantee that coaches are saying, play how you would be if you're in the playoffs, because that's going to be a big thing going into next week. Yeah,
for sure. You can't lose the intensity. Going to put out a plea if anybody on the YouTube channel that is following us here, if you know who number 7 is for Springfield, you can comment there, and we'd love to get his name on the broadcast. Hand off on the delay here up the middle, spinning forward. That goes to the 25. On the carry, Connor Dye will pick up 4 yards, makes it third down and manageable. Third carry of the night for Dye. Roseburg still starters out there on the field here with 10 minutes and 10 seconds counting down here in the second quarter. Zymet out there at safety taking over for Marsters as they're limiting his chances, it seems. He's not running like we normally see. He's been passing a lot, handing it off, so they don't want him taking hits here tonight.
No, definitely not.
Three-man front for Roseburg with the linebackers coming up. They flush the quarterback out of the pocket, going to his right, going to tuck it and run. Should have the first down, and just out of bounds past the sticks. Looked good enough for the first down from here. They put him right at the marker, and that should be good for a first down carry. They'll move the chains for the Millers. Gets it out to the 31-yard line, a pickup of 6 on the ground. For the backup quarterback who's come in and taken over, Caleb Kasparek starting out at that quarterback position. Young Springfield team last week falling against Churchill 22-10. They trailed 8-7 at halftime in that one. Not a bad first half for them, but then could not keep up after the break. Handoff, Connor Dyde going to try and bounce it out to the right side. Kloffenstein there to bring him down after a short gain of 2 yards out to the 33. Not a lot there for Dye as the senior linebacker. Kloffenstein quick to get on top of him.
Being on the other side, when I was playing, we know we were losing like this, so I think for Springfield it's very important to get these reps in and make sure that you're doing your plays right, so when you do have a better game like next year or the year after, you know what you're doing.
Thanks to John Jefferson on YouTube saying that Max Preps has Rich Allen as number 7 on the roster for Springfield. The snap goes by the quarterback. He has to track it down and just jumps on it. It was 2nd down and 8 after a decent first down play. The Millers give it all back. They're going to get taken down on the fumbled snap all the way back to the 19-yard line. And it seems like when things go right for a couple of plays, then Springfield comes out and they shoot themselves in the foot. That is a loss of 14 yards on the play. So it'll set it up. 8:30 and counting. From looking to pass, going to try and set up the screen. It was in and out of the hands of the receiver. Not happy with himself, letting that one fall. Julian Gomez. He had a defender right there on him. I don't know if he escapes that one, but they set it up and ran it and had it there for him, but could not complete it. Incompletion will stop the clock with 8:24 to go, and it'll bring out the punt unit here for the Millers. The punter for Springfield is Kyle Babcock. 2 men deep to return for Roseburg. Dunn and Kloffenstein out there. Kloffenstein with a 67-yard kickoff return already tonight for a touchdown. Babcock gets the boot behind it. Line drive kick will go up the middle. Can't cut it off. Dunn will... He's going to pick it up. I got a feeling the special teams coach is going to tell him, I'd prefer you didn't try and do that next time.
He's definitely going to get an earful.
Dunn picks it up with a man right there covering him, and he will go at the 24. I mean, in 1 point, you know, the ball obviously going well back, and Roseburg losing yardage if they let that one continue, but a dangerous play where you may give it back to the other team if you can't field that ball cleanly.
Right, and at this point, you know, you don't want to be diving in the ball, getting smashed at the bottom of the pile, getting hurt. So
Roseburg starts out at their own 24-yard line. Carson Dunn, a baseball player as well, so he knows what he's doing out there. High snap, Marsters pulls it in, gives it up to Eckel, up the middle, spun forward. He's thrown out to the 33-yard line on the near side. The far side judge showing the 34. They're going to put it right at the 34-yard line. That could be good for the first down carry for Caden Eckel. They will move the chains, first down and 10 on the carry. Eckel might have a chance to get to 1,000 tonight. He needed 142 with that carry. He's at 92 on the night already on 9 carries for Roseburg. They lead 42-0 here on this Friday night from Finlay Field. Marsters, empty backfield, will motion Eli Jacobs, and he'll get a handoff. But in the backfield, he cannot escape. Coming up to make the play for the Millers, Isaiah Navarrete making the stop. The sophomore getting in the backfield and trapping Eli Jacobs with nowhere to go. So for Eli Jacobs, his first carry of the season doesn't go the way he had been hoping for there. You wait all season. He's been playing great on defense, Eli Jacobs has. Finally gets a chance to play some offense, and his first carry,
nowhere to go.
they can't block the defensive end, and he gets trapped in the backfield. He goes back to the 32-yard line, so a loss of 2 on that play. Handed off. Eckel going to try and bounce it around the outside. Uses his speed to get to the edge. Finds the far sideline. Makes one man miss. Has the first down and a couple extra yards. And Caden Eckel will move the chains to keep the drive going for Roseburg out to the 45-yard line. He picks up 13. And that'll put Eckel over 100 on the night at 105. So we are on the 1,000-yard watch. He needs 37 still in this ballgame. 6:45 and counting here in the first quarter. Stack him up on the near side. Horton. Behind him is Kloffenstein. Tatone in the slot to the right for the Indians. Keeper for Marsters. He wants to carry a little bit. He'll get tackled forward across the 50. He's into Springfield territory at the 46-yard line. Did you hold your breath at all?
I did. As Roseburg, I held my breath as soon as he took off. You never know what's going to happen out here, and it's always worrisome.
So they put him down for 8 yards on that carry for Eckel, his first carry of the night.
And I'm sure they're going to try to limit as much as possible.
Yeah. In the headset, Heiberger might be calling up to the booth. We don't run that play anymore. Stop calling that one. Here's going to be a run for Marsters. Things didn't develop for him on the offense. He's going to break it back to the far side, to the sideline. He will smartly run out of bounds. A penalty flag is out at the line of scrimmage. Could be bringing this whole thing back. Marsters had gone out. I think they would spot him at about the 28-yard line if the play stands. Penalty flag. Wait to see who it's on. Illegal shift going to be called against Roseburg, so it'll be bringing them back there. And that'll be one thing that take away from this game. Roseburg penalties on here in the first half. They've had their fair share. Got a player, it looks like, getting taken off the field on the cart for Springfield. Does not have his jersey on. I cannot tell you who it is, but we've seen the backup quarterback for the Millers, so power deduction might indicate that could be possibly starting quarterback Caleb Kasprek. Only assuming there, cannot confirm that for you. Did not see the jersey number on that one. But he did take some hits in his time on the field. Roseburg got backed up to their own 49-yard line. So they lost 5 on that illegal shift, and now penalty flag out. It's going to be another penalty against Roseburg here. So it's going to be a false start against Roseburg on that one. Back him up again. Football back to the 44-yard line now. Going the wrong direction here for the Indians. Clock is stopped with 5:49 to go here in the first half. Marsters, empty backfield, looking to pass. Going to take it himself as he scrambles. The blitz was on. Springfield will get Marsters, who picks up the first down. He carries it to the Springfield 42-yard line. Upended there. And that is exactly what you don't want to see. Marsters limping back to the line of scrimmage, back to huddle up.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's got a significant limp out there, and that's what you want to avoid. That's why we were saying that. First down for Roseburg at the 42. Springfield's half of the field. It was a 14-yard pickup for him. Sets up in shotgun. Turn, hands it off to Eckel. Eckel running up the middle of the line of scrimmage. Gets it to the 38-yard line, and Knox Hubbard will come in.
As we get closer to the start of the second half, you always wonder, when are they going to put the subs in? And so when he's limping around, it might be a good time.
Yeah, that's definitely not something you want to see there. And here he comes. Caden Eckel's going to head to the, Colton Marsters is going to head to the sideline here. Out there to take over for him is going to be senior Dominic Tatone. Marsters heading to the bench to get a water bottle. I think he's a little upset with himself. He's going to talk to the trainer down on the sideline and make sure everything's okay. Dominic Titone takes over. He'll run it on his first play. Gets spun down by his shoulder pads. Navarrete coming up and making the stop as some pushing and shoving away from the play. Carson Dunn out there working against one of the defenders. Titone takes it to the 35-yard line. Picks up 3 on that carry, and Roseburg will have third down. So Dominic Titone coming in, taking over at quarterback for Roseburg. Was last year's starting quarterback along with Evan Corbin. They split time back there. They'll hand it off here. Bowling over people. Look out, the senior Knox Hubbard running right through defenders. Picks up the first down to the 31.
Man, bulldozer.
4-yard pickup for Hubbard on the carry. Moves the chains. And that defender came in, filled the hole nicely, but he paid for it as he took on Knox Hubbard. Knox more of the run-through-you type of guy. Both very strong runners in Eckel and Hubbard, but Hubbard's got a bit more size, a bit more physicality to him, where Eckel will make a lot of guys miss. We've got Knox Hubbard listed at 5'10", 175. Caden Eckel 5'7", 150. Going to pitch it to Hubbard, running right side, going to try and stretch it. Now cuts upfield, takes on contact, tucks the ball away as he stretches forward. Using his leverage, takes it down to the 19. Another first down carry for Roseburg.
It's going to be interesting how they use Knox in the playoffs. It's like good 1-2 punch, third down back maybe?
Yeah, short yardage, third down. Takes that one into the red zone at the 19. Pickup of 12 for Knox Hubbard. Knox Hubbard actually, he hasn't gotten a lot of time back in the backfield, but has had a couple of big games. 221 yards rushing coming into tonight. He was number 10 in the rankings in the Southwest Conference for rushing yardage this season. So Roseburg with 3 runners in the top 10 in the Southwest Conference. They have dominated on the ground. Handed off, Eckel running right side, got into the linebacker core, and goes down to the 12-yard line. Got a nice little battle going here between Carson Dunn and, for Springfield, battling against Hyben Garcia. They've been kind of going back and forth a little bit out there on the outskirts of the plays.
Oh, yeah. They're out there alone. They're out there alone so they can get a little chippy.
There was a pickup of 7 on that carry for Eckel. Hubbard back in, sets up to the left of Titone, who is taken over for Marshers at quarterback. Hubbard gets it, bouncing off tacklers, spinning forward down to the 7-yard line, enough for the first down. And Roseburg just chipping away on this drive. They are eating up the clock as we are down to 2:32 to go in the first half. It's 42-0, Roseburg in front. Knox Hubbard moving the chains down to the 7. That is a pickup of 5. Eckel back in as they keep rotating. Dunn, Gillespie, and Duper out to the left side. It's a keeper for Titone here as he runs over the right side down to the 2-yard line. Picks up 5 on that carry.
With Titone splitting time last year, he's running the offense right now. I don't think it's much of a change from last year, so he's probably right in. Right in.
Last time, split time at QB. Roseburg's offense struggled last year, but he knows the plays. Obviously, a wide receiver and a former quarterback. He threw for only 153 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Did have 122 yards rushing and a TD a year ago. He has eclipsed those rushing numbers this year. I think now he's getting to get close to it, it looks like. Running the option after the fake to Hubbard. Pitch it out to Gillespie, and in. Touchdown, Roseburg. They punch it in. And they now lead 48.
Carson Dunn was getting chippy with
getting chippy in there again.
Oh yeah, they were talking all the way to the sideline.
Another touchdown for Roseburg. It's Dawson Gillespie with his rushing touchdown on the option. Gillespie has not been featured on the offense much this season as the PAT unit comes out. Titone is the holder. Placement is down, the kickoff away, and the kick is good. That is the first carry of the season for Dawson Gillespie and his first touchdown run of the year. And Roseburg leading big as they are now up 49-0 on Springfield with 1:32 to go here in the first half of this ball game. I'm going to run out of spots to put new ball carriers on my stat sheet here tonight. That touchdown run comes from 2 yards out for Gillespie. And Roseburg has now said, well, actually, no, not quite yet. Their season high was 56 points against Grants Pass. And so they are not quite to that mark, but they have eclipsed what they did last week against Sheldon here in one half of football.
I have a feeling that they will probably set a new record today.
2-yard run for Dawson Gillespie, the senior, getting his first touchdown rushing of the season. 49-0 our score. Kickoff coming up here. Dawson Gillespie, that's his first touchdown of the season. He had just 2 catches for 5 yards in the offense prior to that carry there. 1:32 to go before the halftime break. Kickoff is away down to the 5. A return up the middle for the Millers. And met at the 5-yard line and taken down. Carson Dunn out there trying to prove something here tonight. The senior trying to go out on a high note on senior night here this evening. He takes down the return man. It was Gomez at the 15-yard line. And so the offense will come back out for Springfield, starting at their own 15.
Do you think they just run a couple run plays and just try to get to the second half?
I think at this point, Springfield just continuing. I mean, like we've talked about, young team here for the Millers. So this is their opportunity to keep working the system. Second-year coach as well, Miles Haley for the Millers. Just keep working it, building things, working the system. And every time you take the field is an opportunity to just keep trying to get better going forward. I mean, I know that's what Roseburg's gone through the last couple of years, and Millers, they find themselves in it right there at this point in time. Trips to the wide side of the field as the ball's on the left hash mark. The quarterback moves a man in motion and fumbles the snap, picks it up, going to just try and take off and run, hit at the 10-yard line and out of bounds at about the 11. It's Braden Steinacre coming up for the tackle for loss. They'll put him down at the 12. It'll be a loss of 3 for the Millers. And the clock does stop as the play carries out of bounds. Still looking at a lot of the starters and seniors out there on the field for Roseburg. Dunn, Duper, Zymet, Kloffenstein, Hubbard, Steinacre, Gillespie, Kincaid. Those are all your seniors on the field right now. You still got some youngsters out there, and Eli Jacobs, Tiger Black, and James Coleman. Those will be guys that are coming back next year. Handoff in the backfield. Almost got away. Can't get back to the line of scrimmage at the 11. The ball carrier taken down. That's Connor Dye. Roseburg in the backfield as they were handing that one off.
As a senior for your last regular season home game, this is definitely a way you want to go out right here.
And they've gone out, I mean, last week and this week, I think a couple of great games for this senior class. And obviously they've got more coming up with a playoff game next week. 49-0 our score here in the second quarter. Clock ticking down. Springfield will have a chance for maybe a couple more plays here before we go to the halftime break. And coming up, we'll take a look at statistics during the halftime. We'll have the Roseburg Marching Band out here to entertain us here at the halftime break. We'll run through scores that we can track down for you as well here as a timeout's going to be called before the play gets away. It'll be Springfield using their second timeout of the first half. Let's go ahead and pause 10 seconds for a station identification as we count down towards the halftime break. Roseburg leads 49-0. This is Roseburg football on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM. Talked about the other games going on in the Southwest Conference tonight around the Umpqua Basin. The big one that I'm looking forward to seeing what happens, Sutherland and Cascade Christian tonight down in Medford. That is a battle for second place in their league standings. My understanding of it, Clayton, is that Sutherland and Cascade Christian, they'll finish second and third, however that game, whoever's the winner gets second, whoever loses gets third. But I think both teams are in the playoffs. Now, don't count me on it because I get confused easily, but I've read the instructions from the OSA a couple of times, and I think that's how it's going to work out. But it'll be a big game down there, and the Bulldogs, the Lancers, Roseburg, Oakland, Glide maybe. We got a nice selection of teams going to the postseason around the Umpqua Basin this year, so we'll take a look at some of those scores here coming up if we can get them. They'll run the tunnel screen back to the middle of the line of scrimmage, in and out of the hands of the intended receiver. That was Gomez that was there for that screen, could not get a handle on it as the pass just a little bit behind him, and it'll make it 4th down and long for the Millers from the 11. And I thought the first half was going to run out for Springfield here, but here comes the punt unit. Roseburg's going to get the ball back.
Oh, boy.
There's 29 seconds left on the first half, and Roseburg has a chance to get the ball back. I'm seeing I was going to say some new numbers, but I guess it's the punt return unit, so that's why some different guys out there. Dunn and Kloffenstein back at the 46-yard line to return this one. Punting from his own end zone is Babcock for the Millers. Clock is stopped on the incompletion. Whistles. And Springfield's going to get called for a delay of game. So they'll back him up, and they're punting from even deeper in their end zone. Penalty will take them back to the 6-yard line. Babcock standing on the U in Roseburg. Gets the snap. The kick is almost into the stands. And no return for Roseburg, but the ball, that did not get away by much. We'll see where they spot him. And it also happened quick. So there's still 23.9 seconds to go, and Roseburg's going to have the ball just outside the red zone at the 25.
There's plenty of pressure in the backfield there.
So they'll set him up at the 25-yard line. 23 seconds to go. Let's round up to 24. Roseburg with the football at the Springfield 25. All right. Did they go to the end zone here, Clayton? Did they try to add more points before the break?
I would hope not, because it's probably not going to look very good. But
Dominic Titone in for Colton Marshers at quarterback. Marshers was limping a bit, but I think this is more precautionary than anything. Handed off to Caden Eckel. He's going to sprint to the far side. Bounces it out again. Got a nice block from Landon Duper. Spin move. Has the first down. The clock stops at 15 seconds on the first down carry to move the chains. They get it to the 14. So that's a pickup of 11 for Eckel. Thought I heard somebody say something about field goal from up here in the booth. They may try it. I mean, we had it blocked last week. They've only tried 2 field goals. You could see that situation coming up in the postseason. And so Roseburg's going to take it down and call a timeout maybe? No, they are going to let the first half come to a close. We go to the halftime break with Roseburg leading big. It is 49-0 here from Finlay Field on senior night. As Roseburg leads against the Springfield Millers, you've got your halftime show coming up when we return. Clayton Brelich, Joey Keyran with you, along with Gabe Rasmussen and Ben Hill back in the studio. We'll have your halftime show coming up after this 2-minute break on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Get ready to satisfy your dessert cravings with Mountain Mike's new mini churros. These delicious bite-sized churros are the perfect dessert to pair with your favorite Mountain Mike's pizza. Made with only the freshest and finest ingredients. Dough made fresh daily with 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings to the edge. For limited time only, get 16 mini churros for the whole family for only $4.99. Don't wait. Order yours today for dine-in, carry-out, or delivery.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
I am a nurse,
a firefighter,
a college student,
a mother,
and I am an American soldier.
I will always be ready
for every storm.
and disaster that threatens my community.
I will always be there to protect my neighbors,
my family,
and my country.
We are the Army National Guard.
We are the Army National Guard.
We are the Army National Guard.
Visit nationalguard.com to learn more about part-time service.
As a doctor, I kept myself safe from COVID by following all the proper protocols. Then I visited my family, and we all got COVID. I debated getting the vaccine since I gained the COVID antibodies. I changed my mind because I learned the antibodies may not offer full protection. But getting the vaccine after COVID can help prevent you from getting sick again. It also lowers your risk of getting someone else sick. So whether you've already had COVID or you're still unvaccinated, please get the vaccine.
Welcome back here to Roseburg High School as the marching band get ready to perform for us here on senior night. They are honoring their seniors as well, and by the looks of it, they've got quite a few out there as they are marked with the balloons running around at halftime with their performance. Right now here at the break, the Roseburg football team leading 49-0 on top of the visiting Springfield Millers. Senior night, it's a non-league contest for Roseburg here this evening to wrap up the regular season and get ready for the postseason starting next week. Well, let's run through our first half scoring. It is all one-sided here on this one. Roseburg leading big in the first half. It started with a fumble on the first play of the game for Springfield, recovered by Logan Klopfenstein, the first takeaway of the night for the Roseburg defense. Roseburg would capitalize pretty quickly as Caden Eckel would get his first of multiple touchdowns in the first half. A 4-yard run would put him in the end zone. The kick was no good, and Roseburg was on top 6-0. After a 3-and-out by Springfield, Roseburg gets the ball back. Just 3 plays later, it was Marsters connecting with Klopfenstein from 10 yards out. They kick good this time, 13-0 in the first quarter. Again, Roseburg would score after another punt by Springfield. This time it took just 1 play, and it came from 63 yards out after a penalty backed Roseburg up into their own territory. Marsters connecting with Duper for the touchdown, the longest connection of the season for a score between Roseburg's quarterback and receivers. This one 63 yards, and the kick, the PAT, was good by Jackson Bartlett. 20-0 was our score, with still 6:42 to go in the first quarter. On the next possession by Springfield, they got backed up on a penalty to their own 10-yard line. The snap went awry into the end zone, recovered by the Millers for a safety, made it 22-0. Roseburg then on the ensuing kickoff get the ball, and it's another touchdown return on a kickoff by Logan Klopfenstein. His second touchdown of the night, this one a non-offensive. 67 yards to the house. Roseburg led 29-0 with 5:51 to go in the first quarter. Roseburg would add another one on a 5-yard touchdown run by Caden Eckel. The PAT was good, 36-0 to go. Roseburg leading with 2.5 minutes to play in the first quarter, and that would be your score at the end of the first quarter, 36-0. Roseburg would get a score quickly in the second quarter. Another touchdown run by Eckel, this time from 4 yards out. His third rushing touchdown of the first half, and Roseburg was on top 42-0. The Indians add another touchdown, this time on a option pitch to Dawson Gillespie, who gets his first touchdown of the season from 2 yards out. The PAT was good. It was 49-0 at that point, and that's where we stand after 1 half of play between Roseburg and Springfield. Dominating first half, we had a feeling this game could be heavily favoring Roseburg, and they came out and did what was expected, and I think that's exactly what you wanted to see from Roseburg tonight. Whether or not they lead big, whether or not they're looking good offensively, whatever, you wanted to see them come out and execute the way that they should against a team that everybody kind of figured this will be a game that they win handily.
Yeah, especially after a loss. You want to come back and be confident and understand what you did last week. You only lost by 2 points, so it's not like you lost big. You understand you're right there with them. So.
Yeah. Roseburg leading 49-0 here at halftime. That's Clayton Brelich. I'm Joey Kieran. We'll let the marching band entertain you for a couple of minutes here as we are at Finlay Field on senior night, and the Roseburg marching band continues their halftime performance. That is the Roseburg High Marching Band as they continue to perform on senior night. Congratulations to all the seniors in the marching band. They put in a ton of work. It was great to catch up with a couple of them. Danielle Wright and Tegan Phelps from the marching band. They joined me on DC Sports Spotlight on Wednesday from Mountain Mike's Pizza. We got a chance to catch up with them and find out more about marching band. Find that interview online at 541radio.com. It is worth your time. Very informative for those of us that don't know what it takes to be out there at the field at halftime in the marching band. We'll take another 2-minute break. We'll come back with more of your halftime show. Roseburg leading 49-0 tonight on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool. On the field. Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah! Be great.
Participate!
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
Buy One, Get One is back at the Roseburg Jiffy Lube. Purchase the signature service oil change at Roseburg Jiffy Lube and be treated to a second one absolutely free. The Trick or Treat BOGO deal, buy one, get one in October from the Roseburg Jiffy Lube. Are your wipers bouncing, streaking, or smearing now that the rain is here? Well, come to the Roseburg Jiffy Lube for a free windshield Rain-X treatment with the purchase of new wipers. Stay safe on the road with the team at Roseburg Jiffy Lube on Garden Valley next to Champion Car Wash.
At halftime, Roseburg leading 49-0 against the visiting Springfield Millers. Well, let's take a look at some of our stats from the first half of tonight's ball game. For the Springfield Millers, it's not a pretty picture, as you might expect, trailing big like they are. They have not completed a pass so far tonight. They are 0 for 7 on their attempts. On the ground, Connor Dye with 5 carries for 7 yards. Caleb Kasparek has 6 carries for 11 yards and a fumble. The backup quarterback, Rich Allen, is what we've been told on social media, but I hope we're getting that right. 3 carries, he's lost 11 yards, unfortunately, with a couple of big missed snaps for fumbles. And Julian Gomez has 1 carry for -2. So you put it all together, I've got Springfield down for -5 yards in the first half of tonight's ball game. On the other side, I've got Roseburg for a collective 314 yards of offense. Colton Marsters, 5 of 7 through the air for 132 yards and 2 touchdowns. He has thrown 2 times to Landon Duper for 98 yards and a 63-yard score. Logan Kloffenstein, 2 catches, 16 yards for him, and has a 10-yard touchdown catch. And then Hayden Horton has 1 catch for 18 yards. That would be good for the 5 catches so far tonight. For Caden Eckel, I've got him down 13 carries, 128 yards, and that actually might be short at least 1 touchdown run because he's had a 4-yarder, 5-yarder, and a 4-yarder. So I'm missing a 4-yard touchdown run from the second quarter, so let's add that in real quick here. With that, he's got 132 yards in the first half, which would put Caden Eckel at 10 yards shy of hitting 1,000 on the season. He's got that on 14 carries so far. Colton Marsters, 2 carries, 22 yards. Dawson Gillespie, 1 carry for a touchdown, 2 yards. Knox Hubbard, 4 carries, 22 yards. Dominic Titone, 2 carries, 8 yards. Eli Jacobs had 1 carry for -2. And that is your totals there from the first half. Unofficially, 324 yards. Actually, sorry, make that 318 yards of offense for Roseburg. Got junior youth football out there on the field getting recognized tonight. Good to see that. And that is, I think, been one of the big things Coach Heiberger and the coaching staff here at Roseburg High have been trying to do with the youth groups, is to be able to really integrate them into the system, to really get them involved in what Roseburg football is doing, because these are your Roseburg high school football players for the future. There's some big kids out there. I've seen some guys with some size.
Oh, yeah.
Be good to see those guys continue to grow up going forward. At halftime, your score 49-0. When we come back, we're trying to put together some score updates from around the Umpqua Basin and beyond, so stick with us. Some big games going on at the 6A level tonight that I got at least one score there to pass along in that, and we'll take a look at it. We are at halftime. It's 49-0. Springfield trailing Roseburg. Before we take the break here, Clayton, I'll give you an opportunity. Any thoughts going to the second half for this Roseburg team? What in a game like this, in the situation where we're at, where Roseburg's got playoffs next week, I think you talked about it a little bit, but what are you looking to see? What are you looking to see this team do?
I think the subs should come in. I think we should take the starters out because we do not want anybody to get hurt. I understand it's senior night, but you just worry about the playoffs. But I think for the subs that come in, they get their good playing time, run around, get some reps in. But the little things like the penalties, the PATs, work on those things to shore them up for the playoffs, because it's going to matter in those bigger games.
Yeah, it definitely is, and let these, I think probably somewhere in the third quarter you start to see those JV guys out there getting a chance to get out there and get some experience for this Roseburg team. 49-0. We'll have a running clock for the second half, and so it'll go quick. We'll go ahead and take a break. We'll come back and wrap up the halftime show after this. It's Roseburg on top, 49-0 over Springfield on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Get ready to satisfy your dessert cravings with Mountain Mike's new mini churros. These delicious bite-sized churros are the perfect dessert to pair with your favorite Mountain Mike's pizza. Made with only the freshest and finest ingredients. Dough made fresh daily with 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings to the edge. For limited time only, get 16 mini churros for the whole family for only $4.99. Don't wait. Order yours today for dine-in, carry-out, or delivery.
I am a nurse,
a firefighter,
a college student,
a mother,
and I am an American soldier.
I will always be ready
for every storm
and disaster that threatens my community.
I will always be there to protect my neighbors,
my family,
and my country.
We are the Army National Guard.
We are the Army National Guard.
We are the Army National Guard.
Visit nationalguard.com to learn more about part-time service.
Well, getting ready for the start of the third quarter. Let's check on what's going on around the Umpqua Basin and here on this Friday night, plus what's coming up this weekend. Yesterday, we had Camas Valley football in action. They fell 54-14 against Myrtle Point in 8-man football. That might just put Camas Valley outside of the picture on the playoffs. They're right there on the bubble with their at-large playoff ranking. Here tonight, non-league matchups. Roseburg hosting Springfield. They are leading 49-0 here at the break. South Umpqua is taking on Kalama, Washington, a matchup of two teams that are undefeated. Clayton, what do you think here? South Umpqua's, they clinched a league title. They've clinched the playoff berth. They're one of the top teams in the 3A. They had an open date. You like the idea of finding a game to go play. They've got to travel up to Barlow, my alma mater. Coach Stebbins for South Umpqua used to coach there, coached me up there. So they're going up to his old stomping grounds to play this team from Washington that's a good team. They're undefeated. Both teams putting up 40-plus points a game. You like the idea of trying to squeeze one in and maybe risking something happening on your hopes for a state championship?
Well, there's always pros and cons in with everything. So with the pros, you're going to play a good team going in the playoffs. Yeah. You're going to face better competition going in the playoffs. You're not going to be playing like a lower field team. But the cons, you're playing a really good team, so they know what they're doing. So the chance of injury is much higher.
The one thing I kind of think is that both teams go into that one knowing we've got playoffs right around the corner. We don't want to put anything at risk, so maybe both teams take it a little easy in that matchup. But South Umpqua up there, we'll try and see if we can find any score updates on that one for you. Douglas is hosting St. Mary's at Sutherland High School tonight, and a score update on that one at halftime. It was 35-0 St. Mary's on top of Douglas. Down in Medford, it is Sutherland and Cascade Christian at the halftime break. Cascade Christian leading big, 49-6 over Sutherland. That's too bad there for the Bulldogs. I was hoping that would be a competitive game for them. They're coming off of a bye week, and so maybe a little rusty out there for the Bulldogs. I'm hoping they still have a postseason shot. Oakland is hosting Bandon in a game that was kind of more of an exhibition than anything after their game against Central Lynn got canceled this week. Glide football hosting Rogue River tonight. If we get updates on that, we'll pass them along. Glendale had to forfeit their game tonight against Bonanza. Coming up this weekend, Reedsport is at Lakeview. Then we've got volleyball playoffs this weekend. In the 3A classification, Sutherland is hosting Yamhill Carlton in a first-round volleyball playoff matchup. Reedsport is at Vernonia in a 2A volleyball matchup. Umpqua Valley Christian in the second round of the 1A volleyball playoffs. They take on Echo. They're on the road. Days Creek also in the second round. They travel to Joseph. North Douglas was your Skyline League champions at the 1A level, and they will be hosting a second-round matchup after a bye. They welcome in Perrydale tomorrow at 2. And then soccer playoffs tomorrow. Roseburg boys soccer is headed to Jesuit for a playoff matchup. Going to be a steep test there, but the Roseburg boys in the playoffs for the first time, it seems, in a couple of years there. And they'll kick off at 2 o'clock tomorrow from up in the Portland area. And then the Roseburg Marching Band is at Sherwood tomorrow for a big competition in marching band. So that's some of what's going on around the Umpqua Basin. Good luck to everybody in those playoff matchups coming up this weekend. Big matchup at 6A for the Mount Hood Conference title. It's Central Catholic and Clackamas squaring off, 2 top 10 programs. And at the halftime break, it was Central Catholic leading 14-7 in that matchup there. Kind of like what we got last week against Roseburg and Sheldon. That is kind of what they're doing tonight in the Mount Hood Conference up there. And big-time game there. We're going to be watching the rankings after tonight. Central Catholic was a possible second-round opponent for Roseburg when the way things were looking after last week's games. And so it was like, man, I really hope that Roseburg can avoid having to see that in the second half or in the second round of a playoff, assuming that they get there. We kick off our second half here. It's a running clock for us. Roseburg's going to get the football to start the second half. It's Griffin Zyman on the return up the middle. He is going to weave his way through traffic. The coverage team gets a couple of arms around him, and we've got a scrum just past the 45-yard line. And Griffin Zymet will set up Roseburg on the return out at about the 47-yard line. A couple of bodies on the ground for Springfield after the kickoff return. So Roseburg with the football to start things off, starting at their own 47-yard line. How aggressive do you think? Do you think it's just ground and pound? The clock's moving no matter what, so
yeah.
Guess you don't have to try and keep it moving.
Right. No, I think they run the ball a ton.
So the offense out there on the field for Roseburg. It's Dominic Tatone, the quarterback, leading the way. Hands it off to Knox Hubbard. Got hit initially, slid off that tackler. Falls forward, about a yard gain on the carry to the 48. So Knox Hubbard had him down for 23 yards now. He's going to be climbing his way towards 300, possibly here tonight if he keeps getting carries here in the second half. 49-0 our score. Again, running clock, so get ready. This is going to fly by for us here. 3 targets to the near side. Horton, Dunn, and Gillespie, your receivers. Fake the handoff. Runner for Tatone. He gets crunched in the middle. Down at the 50-yard line with a penalty flag out at the end of the play. Did you see anything there, Clayton?
I think maybe a face mask in the defense going down.
Penalty flag is back just right around the line of scrimmage. White hat. Personal foul. Yeah, look at that. Called it.
Perfect.
So it'll be a penalty against Springfield.
Going down, his face mask was real turned to the left, so...
So they'll mark this off here, and they'll spot it at the 35-yard line on Springfield's half of the field.
Yeah, going back through when I was playing, whenever we would be getting beat down, they would always run the ball to not show us up. So that's what I'm thinking here.
You know from being on the other side of this one. Roseburg 1st and 10 from the Springfield 35. Tatone hands it off. It's Hubbard sidestepping defenders. He's got some room at the 20. A stiff arm as he tries to punish the defender. Coming up to try and make the stop, Logan Bradley for the Millers. And he got a fistful of Knox Hubbard, and the stiff arm takes him down to the 14-yard line. And a big gain there for Hubbard as he picks up 21 on the ground. He's got 45 on the night. One of the longest plays of the night. Here's a new number coming into the ball game. Carson Dunn's going to head to the sideline as Brevin Harrison is going to get a chance to come in, a sophomore for Roseburg. And we're already starting to see it. Still have up along the front line Snyder, Mills, Coleman, Thomas, and Kincaid up on the offensive line for Roseburg. Harrison and Horton to the right for Tatone. He will hand it off to Hubbard. Things open up the middle, cuts it back to his right, slips a few, still on his feet to the goal line, in. Touchdown, Knox Hubbard. And the Roseburg Indians will start off the third quarter with another touchdown run. And they are the PAT away from tying up their season highs. You were looking down at your stat sheet.
Yep, that's what I was going for.
That is a 14-yard touchdown run by Knox Hubbard. For Knox, where's that put him? Third touchdown of the season on the ground for the senior. PAT kick is up and through. And Roseburg will get the second half started with a touchdown run. 7:55 to go, and they lead 56-0 on top of Springfield. Let's go ahead and take a 30-second break, and we'll come back with more of this third quarter on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM. Copy. A 14-yard touchdown run by Knox Hubbard caps off a 3-play drive and a 53-yard series there for Roseburg, and they lead 56-0. Tonight's game sponsored by Flyaway Travel. You can contact their travel experts for your travel plans, now located at 1445 West Harvard Avenue, or give them a call at 672-5701. Kickoff to the 10-yard line. Gomez returns for Springfield, gets it out across the 25. Not a bad return out to the 26 for the Millers, as they'll have it for the first time here in the second half. Stick around for the post-game show. We'll name our Mountain Mike's Pizza player of the game. Mountain Mike's Pizza, the way it ought to be. We'll be back at Mountain Mike's on Wednesday night for another episode of DC Sports Spotlight. So come on out and join us on Wednesday nights for the all-you-can-eat buffet at Mountain Mike's there, 5 to 7 o'clock. Very affordable. You get plenty of pizza and salad bar. And it's a good time had by all. We'll be there doing the show, and you can come out and hang out with us as well. Clock is running with the now 56-point lead for Roseburg here in the second half. Just need to get to 35. In shotgun, Rich Allen is what we've been told his name is, not on the roster. Running, hands it off, running right side. The Millers will give it to Connor Dye, who doesn't go anywhere. Right back to the line of scrimmage, taken down at the 26. Actually just stood up and didn't actually go down. It's Rich Allen. I don't even see him on the printed roster that we got off of the OSA website, Rich Allen. So
must be a Jersey thing. Somebody forgot something.
Yeah. Oh, hopefully that is his name. I hate calling people by the wrong name, but not on the roster. Rolling out to his left, throwing downfield. Connects, first complete pass. No! Came out at the end. Is it a fumble? It is! A catch and then a fumble. Silas Kincaid will get on it. And it was Schifferdecker that had the catch and then fumbles it on the first completion of the night. Roseburg then gets it right back.
They are talking whether he was down or not.
They may overturn this. It was a completion out to the 30. It would be a pickup of 4 on the play.
From up here, I kind of looked like he was down, but I'm not sure.
Either down or they're going to confirm it. Either down or I thought it bounced out before, like he just didn't complete the catch, but they'll say that it's a catch to the 30 and then a fumble recovered by Silas Kincaid. So Roseburg will get the football. Say 5:09 to go. The clock's been ticking the whole time. They'll get the football at the Springfield 30.
A lot of new numbers out there. Got a whole new offense, I think. Really?
So that was a pickup of 4 through the air and then the fumble to Schifferdecker. Been waiting to say that name all night long. We'll try and run through the new names that are out there on the field for Roseburg. Hand off. The man out of the backfield is Parrish, I believe. Nicholas Parrish, the sophomore. His first carry takes him down to the 20-yard line, a pickup of 10. Oh, they're really going to test my score sheet here tonight. Already running out of spots. So 10-yard gain for the sophomore on his first carry of the evening. In at quarterback is Camden Hartzell, another sophomore. Parrish to his right. They will give it again to Parrish. He falls forward. I've seen him out there a couple of times in a couple of different settings, and I've liked his side. He's only a sophomore, needs to put on some bulk, get him in the weight room out there, but he's got a good frame to build on, that's for sure.
And he looks like he's running straight downhill, too. He's a power back.
Picks up 2 on that carry. So it'll be second down. It should be second down and 8. The sticks are reading first down still. So Hartzell in at quarterback, in shotgun. A center. Get you his name here. There's another run for Parrish. In there at the center position is Barron, Teague Barron. Runs up the middle. And it'll be third down now, down to the 15-yard line on that carry by Parrish. Picks up 3. So your center, so far Barron, he's been providing a nice shotgun snap. He'll set up there. To the left of him, you've got Seth Clark and Agostino Gaeta, a couple of sophomores there. Caden Beckham on the right side out of guard as they hand it off, running on the right side, trying to pick up the first down. It's going to be close with the carry there is Brogan Rackley, another new name. So Rackley will take it down to the 12-yard line. That was a pickup of 3, and it's 4th down and 2 for Roseburg. I don't think you really have much of another option than go for it here.
Right.
So that was on the right side was Caden Beckham, and also out to the right tackle is Terrell Haig. Your front offensive line for Roseburg as the JV team comes in. Down to 1:54 to go in this third quarter. What did I say about this going fast? Holy smokes. Handed off, Parrish up the middle, has the first down inside the 10, still on his feet, goes down to the 7-yard line, and he'll move the pile, moves the chains. That's a pickup of 5.
It's a good start for the JV crew. Come right in, get a first down.
Heck yeah. So first down and goal from the 7. Been seeing at a wide receiver position Kyle Valou, a senior, getting some playing time here tonight. Out there along with him on the right side, Brevin Harrison. They've got spread out to the far side, Brogan Rackley at a wide receiver position, and I think Griffin Zymet out there with him as well. They move a man in motion, give it to Harrison. He's going to run it left side, cuts it upfield at the 5, to the goal line, takes contact, and he's in. Touchdown, Roseburg. And for the first time at the varsity level, Brevin Harrison can celebrate 6 on the board for the Roseburg Indians. 61-0. Actually make that 62, I guess. I think I missed an extra point that I didn't put up there on the board earlier. Yeah, I did. So 62 pending the extra point on the run by Harrison. That comes from 7 yards out. PA team is out there. And the kickoff is, not the kickoff, but the PAT is good. 26 seconds to go in the third quarter. Let's take a 30-second break. And we will continue on with the second half of tonight's blowout win for the Roseburg Indians against the Springfield Millers on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Deciding where to purchase your next vehicle is just as important as the vehicle itself. At Roseburg Honda, our seasoned staff is dedicated to matching you with the right car. From sales to service, our goal is to make sure all of your needs are met, and you leave our dealership feeling good every time you visit. No need to waste your valuable time driving up and down the freeway when the ultimate car buying experience is right here at home. Roseburg Honda. We treat you like family.
Got a score update from South Umpqua and Kalama, Washington. 40-0, Kalama beating South Umpqua. That one final there from, they kicked off a little earlier at 6 o'clock, so final there from Barlow High School. Kickoff, didn't quite field it cleanly, and now taking a big hit. I think that's Parrish. Nicholas Parrish has come out and gotten a chance to run the ball some, and now lays a big hit on Julian Gomez. They celebrate, but got to keep it tempered here. Gomez goes down. He took a shoulder pad to the helmet. He's now taking his helmet off, and he's in some pain out there. So you hope he's all right there. He got kind of spun around and spun right in. He took a good hit on the first one, and then Parrish finishing him off with a big hit. They'll stop the clock with 14 seconds to go here in the third quarter. The football is going to be out at the 14-yard line, it looks like, for Springfield. So a tough one there to finish out the regular season for South Umpqua. Losing big, 40-0, gets shut out. That's, now you kind of wonder on the other side. Oh, now there's a penalty flag out. The coaches are out there talking with the officials, trying to, I think, plead the case for a possible penalty on that one. Gomez is still struggling to get to the sideline, and the coaches are out there, I think, not happy with the officials for not calling a penalty on that one, and then one of the officials from the far side of the field throwing a penalty flag that I think could possibly end up putting some salt in the wound here for the Springfield Millers. We'll wait to see how this plays out, but does that put a bad taste in your mouth if you're South Umpqua to get shut out against a team in a game that didn't really mean anything for either side?
Yeah, for a team that hasn't had much adversity this year, to be down 40-0, I think it would kind of mix emotions there.
Yeah, maybe it lights a fire under them going into the playoffs. Don't want to let that happen again. We'll see how that plays out. But, yeah, that's that was an unexpected result there for the Lancers against Kalama, Washington.
Yeah, for sure. They've been pretty hot this year.
Yeah, they really have been. Both teams were averaging over 40 points a game, and Kalama gets there, but South Umpqua. Ooh.
I wonder what was going on there if we were talking about, like, subs being in.
Yeah, they may have just decided to go with some of their other guys. I mean, at that level, don't have a lot of deep bench for those smaller schools. So,
yeah.
So they are still talking about it here. Did they kick? No, I thought almost maybe they might have seen an ejection signal out there. While we wait here, I just got a text message from my wife. She's back at home tonight. She said that she watched the final 2 episodes of a show we've been binge watching for 15 seasons.
Without you.
She said she usually watches a couple, and I catch up on them later. She goes, I watched a couple of episodes. I didn't realize they were the last 2 of the series. Finished out Criminal Minds, apparently. I guess I know what I'm doing when I get home tonight. I'm going to have to watch the final 2 episodes of that series we've been binging. So Roseburg, I think, declines the penalty. It was a personal foul against Springfield, so Roseburg's going to say, hey, look, we get it. We understand why you were upset. Well, we're not going to push you back even further here. Springfield will get it. They start out at their own 13-yard line is where they eventually put that there. So here comes the offense. Rich Allen, we believe, at quarterback, hands it off, running right side. That ball's on the field. Coming in and ripping the ball out, but they're going to say the ball carrier was down. Caden Beckham got in there and dislodged that football, but the third quarter is going to come to an end on a tackle for loss for Beckham, and it is 63-0. Roseburg in front as we go to the fourth quarter. Let's take a 60-second break. Come back with more of the action from Finlay Field. You're watching Roseburg football on 541radio.com, presented by Champion Car Wash, and listening on The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Deciding where to purchase your next vehicle is just as important as the vehicle itself. At Roseburg Honda, our seasoned staff is dedicated to matching you with the right car. From sales to service, our goal is to make sure all of your needs are met, and you leave our dealership feeling good every time you visit. No need to waste your valuable time driving up and down the freeway when the ultimate car buying experience is right here at home. Roseburg Honda. We treat you like family.
At Brooke Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brooke Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brooke Communications.
Well, we start the fourth quarter, 63-0. Roseburg in front of Springfield. The running clock for us here. A tackle for loss on that last play of the third quarter puts Springfield at second down and 11. The ball at their own 12-yard line. Joey Kieran here with you, along with me, Clayton Brelich here in the booth as we bring you Roseburg football and our season finale, regular season finale. Playoffs coming up next week. Handoff up the middle. The Millers running against mainly a JV squad out there for Roseburg. A couple of seniors still actually out there, and here to start is seeing a couple of familiar numbers out there. Dawson Gillespie back out there. We've seen senior Griffin Zymet out there getting more playing time here tonight. Also, Eli Jacobs still on the field. Carson Dunn has come back out to start the fourth quarter, getting some seniors a chance to get back out there. Knox Hubbard out there along with a couple other guys. That is Terrell Haig that was embracing Knox Hubbard. The carry went out to the 17-yard line. Up the middle, the run here by Dye. He's going to pick up a first down. Assuming that is not Dye. That is instead Gavin Coulter, who started at quarterback last year for Springfield. He's had back-to-back carries there. Took it out to the 17. And now moves the chains as he takes it out to the 28-yard line. So a couple of big runs there. As picks up 5, then picks up 11. They'll hand it to him again. They're just going to run right up the middle. Hit from behind. And coming in to make the play, Teague Barron will make the stop for Roseburg out at the 31-yard line. And Coulter will pick up 3. Well, we are counting down to 9 o'clock here. We had a weather alert telling us that rain could be in the forecast coming up here at 9 o'clock. We'll see. Ben assured us that we weren't going to see rain until 1 o'clock in the morning. So
we'll see. You never know.
Second down and 7, looking to pass to the near side. Long pass, closing quickly. A nice pass breakup there by Eli Jacobs. That pass didn't have the zip on it needed, intended for Dwayne Fada, but knocked away by Jacobs. Nice closing speed there from Eli Jacobs.
That was a great play. He read it all the way.
Clock does not stop because of the mercy rule here. 63-0. Roseburg has had a running clock all second half. What's the weather update saying?
Let's look.
Well, you were looking at the sky.
I was trying to see if something was coming down.
Doesn't look like it yet. Yeah, it's probably some of the moths flying down at us here. Possibility of seeing the northern lights tonight, although I don't think with our cloud cover that's going to really allow things to happen, unfortunately. Timeout taken by Springfield. Keep it right here. I believe we've probably run through all of our commercials that we have scheduled for the second half. Well, update here on our YouTube channel. Thanks, everybody that's tuning in and watching tonight's game, streaming on our YouTube channel. Streaming is sponsored by Champion Car Wash in Roseburg. Somebody providing a score update on there on Sheldon and Grants Pass. Sheldon leading Grants Pass 28-7 in that one. A little closer than I would have anticipated.
Yeah.
But, looks like Sheldon's going to be heading towards a Southwest Conference Championship here this season. Yet again, it'll be their 10th in 15 years. Yeah, 28-7, third quarter there. Appreciate the updates there, Alex Allen.
I was definitely expecting maybe Sheldon a little more lopsided, but they probably could be subbing in a lot of people and giving their guys a rest.
Now getting people telling us we don't think that it's Rich Allen that's wearing number 7 for Springfield. So, Well, thanks for everybody chiming in on the YouTube channel there. It's great to have all of you with us here tonight. Move a man in motion, hand it off to him on the end-around sweep. It's Fada. He uses some speed to get downfield. We'll get across the 40, forward progression out to the 43 on that carry. Out of the timeout, they draw up a pretty good play. That'll move the chains, picking up 12 for Dwayne Fada.
I know it was for me when I was younger like this and got out get some varsity time. It's definitely, you want the reps. You definitely understand the speed of the game goes a lot faster from JV to varsity. So I think it's very important for these guys to take it all in.
For sure. A lot of younger guys out there. And some of the seniors getting back out there to try and finish things off. But seeing some new numbers out there. Ben Pascal, another senior, getting to try come out and play some linebacker. And speaking of linebackers, Dawson Gillespie coming up and making a hit. And a penalty flag comes out at the end. I think Sheldon's bench wanted a foul called against Roseburg. Gillespie came in and made the hit. Kind of looked like the runner went down awkwardly and was on his knees kind of in a weird position. So it's a personal foul against Roseburg. So that'll benefit the Millers. So that'll move things forward here. Roseburg penalty will put him out at the 42-yard line, Roseburg half of the field. Can smell the concession stand up here. Boy,
yeah.
The grill's been going. 7:40 and counting here in this fourth quarter. It's Roseburg big, 63-0. You can see the smoke from the grill wafting by here in the lights up here, way up in the press box. We'll be back here next week when Roseburg is hosting a playoff game. That is our assumption. Not guaranteed as of yet, but it sure does look likely. Looking to go deep downfield. Oh, Roseburg stealing an interception away from itself. Carson Dunn tried to get in there and probably knocked that one away from Hayden Horton, who was in coverage. That might have been a pick, but two Roseburg players in the area trying to take it away from Dwayne Fada. Everybody's eager to try and get their hands on the football.
Yes.
South Medford leading early in the fourth quarter against North Medford, 33-20. So South Medford the edge. I'm surprised by that one, actually. I was thinking North would have the edge there. Looking to run the ball up the middle. It is Coulter on second down and 10. Gets it out to the 37-yard line.
I've been impressed with the JV. They're tackling pretty good. Not a lot of arm tackles. Everything, they're just wrapping them up and taking them right down to the ground. I
think the JV team did have a pretty nice season this year, so that's going to hopefully lead towards big things. We had Caden Eckel on that Wednesday night show, DC Sports Spotlight, that I've been doing, and he was saying, yeah, the younger guys, they're going to have some good guys coming up with him. He's part of that sophomore class, but been playing on the varsity level. And Yeah, he's saying that there's some good guys that'll be joining him coming up in the next couple of years. There's a handoff. Running up the middle, down to the 34-yard line.
They'll have 4 returning offensive linemen, so that's going to be a big help for them next year.
For sure, yeah. That goes to the 34, a pickup of 3. That was the quarterback on the keeper there. Yeah, they're going to have a lot of their offensive linemen back, obviously losing talent like Colton Marsters, guys like Kloffenstein, Tatone, Duper, Horton, that have been big on the offensive side, along with seniors leaderships Hayden Snyder, Silas Kincaid on that front line. Going to be tough to replace them. Defensively for Roseburg, going to be losing a lot of great seniors there as well, as we're down to 5.5 to play. Movement up front. For Roseburg, well, the penalty flag here. I wanted to share this image that we had done up here. This is your senior class for Roseburg here this year. There are your 16 seniors graduating this year from Roseburg football. But they're going to be the defenses, I think, where they're really going to feel it the most. Obviously, offensively with Marsters and what those guys have done on the offensive side, that's going to be big. But they've got a lot of returning guys on the offensive line, and obviously Caden Eckel in the backfield. And but defensively, boy, they start a lot of those seniors on the defensive side of the ball.
There's only going to be 3 returners next year for defense. It's
going
to be a whole new look.
It's going to be some spots to fill in for sure. Out route to the far side intended for Fada is incomplete. In coverage was Horton. So that'll be a turnover on downs on a 4th down attempt there. 4:28 and counting as Roseburg football, the offense will take back over. So Roseburg will get it. Clock ticking. They have it at their own 39-yard line. So it looks like Sheldon's going to win the Southwest Conference title, and it looks like South Medford might secure that final automatic bid, which is crazy. North Medford went in with number 12 on their ranking, 1 spot behind Roseburg in the OSAA Power Rankings. They hand it off up the middle, running hard, stretching to get to the 45-yard line. Carrying the football there, that is once again on the behind the ball, Ben Pascal, calling his name again. The senior getting out there and getting a chance to run hard. I like what I see there.
Oh, yeah. Straight downhill. Just get the ball running straight forward.
Having to make up new spots on my stat sheet because so many guys have touched the ball here tonight. Out to the 44. That was a pickup of 5 by Pascal. Move a man in motion from left to right. Pascal had his H-back to the left of the line there in shotgun. The snap goes over the head of Hartzell. He'll chase it down, and it'll be Pascal that'll jump on it back at the 25-yard line. So that's going to be big, and Roseburg's going to be dropped way back. The 25-yard line. That'll put him at 24-yard loss on that one. Yikes. Hearing the sideline calling for the punt team, getting ready to go.
I'm expecting a run then.
Roseburg just trying to get this one finished here, not get anybody hurt. Obviously, they've got a lot of their backups out there. Some of the seniors getting some extensive playing time for some of the ones that have put in a lot of hard work through the years and spent time in practices doing a lot of the dirty work that doesn't get acknowledged. As Ben Pascal here, he is going to race upfield, and the senior almost converts on the run play.
Jeez.
They took him out to the 46-yard line, so he makes up the lost yardage there, picks up 21.
Now instead for the punt team, you're going for it.
Yeah. If he keeps that up, he could be like Roseburg's 4th leading rusher by the end of the night on the season. Out to the 46-yard line, picked up 21. Pascal has got 2 carries for 26 yards so far. We're going to be adding some new names to the weekly stat updates. Griffin Zymet spread out to the left along with Pascal, I believe. That might be 26 out there. That's Cameron Wiggins, a junior. Instead, they're going to run the ball on 4th down, and it unfortunately does not go the distance. Pascal this time only back to the line of scrimmage. Actually, he'll lose a yard back to the 45. So Roseburg will turn it over on downs with 1:18 to go and timeout taken down on the field. Let's go ahead and take a quick 30-second break. Make sure we've got in all of our commercials here for the second half. We'll come back. Roseburg football on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Buy One, Get One is back at the Roseburg Jiffy Lube. Purchase the signature service oil change at Roseburg Jiffy Lube and be treated to a second one absolutely free. The Trick or Treat BOGO deal, buy one, get one in October from the Roseburg Jiffy Lube. Are your wipers bouncing, streaking, or smearing now that the rain is here? Well, come to the Roseburg Jiffy Lube for a free windshield Rain-X treatment with the purchase of new wipers. Stay safe on the road with the team at Roseburg Jiffy Lube on Garden Valley next to Champion Car Wash.
Springfield getting the football with 1:18 to play in the ball game. They'll start out at the Roseburg 45-yard line. They are losing 63-0. Joey Keyran and Clayton Brelage with you. We'll have a quick post-game show to wrap this one up here tonight. Coming up after this one goes final, we'll also name our Mountain Mike's Pizza player of the game. In shotgun, the fake handoff, a little bit of trick play here. Handed off on the reverse sweep, and it doesn't go for much. Cut down by the ankles. It was Dawson Gillespie getting in there to make the stop at the 39-yard line, a pickup of 6 on the run play. And that was Caleb Lemley running the ball there. Now Springfield is making me have to use all of my spots. Rolling to his left, the quarterback, right-hander, thrown against his body, heaves it out of bounds. He'll just get rid of the football, and he goes kind of limping towards the sideline, but he'll stay in the ball game. Incomplete there. Clock will not stop, 30 seconds to go, and we're just about done with this one. A big win to finish out the season. The Roseburg seniors going out on a high note here in the regular season with more to come. They are hoping for a couple of big wins coming up over the next couple of weeks. See how deep in the playoffs they might be able to go. 17 seconds to play. Pump fake once, rolling to his right, looking downfield, eluding the rush, lofted down there just out of the reach for Lemley. Incomplete. 6 seconds to play, and this one is about to be done. Roseburg's going to get the win. Your final score is 63-0. Roseburg with the shutout victory. Let's take a break and come back with your postgame show. We'll wrap it up all for you here on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Get ready to satisfy your dessert cravings with Mountain Mike's new mini churros. These delicious bite-sized churros are the perfect dessert to pair with your favorite Mountain Mike's pizza, made with only the freshest and finest ingredients, dough made fresh daily with 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese, and toppings to the edge. For limited time only, get 16 mini churros for the whole family for only $4.99. Don't wait. Order yours today for dine-in, carry-out, or delivery.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
I am a nurse,
a firefighter,
a college student,
a mother,
and I am an American soldier.
I will always be ready
for every storm
and disaster that threatens my community.
I will always be there to protect my neighbors,
my family,
and my country.
We are the Army National Guard.
We are the Army National Guard.
We are the Army National Guard.
Visit nationalguard.com to learn more about part-time service.
As a doctor, I kept myself safe from COVID by following all the proper protocols. Then I visited my family, and we all got COVID. I debated getting the vaccine since I gained the COVID antibodies. I changed my mind because I learned the antibodies may not offer full protection. But getting the vaccine after COVID can help prevent you from getting sick again. It also lowers your risk of getting someone else sick. So whether you've already had COVID or you're still unvaccinated, please get the vaccine.
Deciding where to purchase your next vehicle is just as important as the vehicle itself. At Roseburg Honda, our seasoned staff is dedicated to matching you with the right car. From sales to service, our goal is to make sure all of your needs are met, and you leave our dealership feeling good every time you visit. No need to waste your valuable time driving up and down the freeway when the ultimate car buying experience is right here at home. Roseburg Honda. We treat you like family.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
Final score from Finlay Field tonight as we wrap up the regular season, 63-0. The Roseburg Indians come out with the victory on top of Springfield. The Millers will finish out their season this year with a 3-7 overall record. Roseburg goes to 8-1 and now prepares for the playoffs. We'll wait and find out where their ranking sits after things freeze tomorrow night at 10 o'clock. We should probably have a good idea sometime late tonight, early tomorrow morning. The wee hours of Saturday morning is when the OSAA might finally have all the rankings updated. I believe all the 6A games are getting played tonight, that there are none scheduled for tomorrow. So while the rankings don't officially freeze until 10 o'clock tomorrow night, we may have a very good idea of what the playoff bracket might look like coming up sometime late tonight, early in the Saturday morning. But tonight a big win. Clayton 63-0, the final here as Roseburg defeats Springfield. We had a feeling it could get one-sided, and Roseburg did not disappoint. But big night for the seniors to celebrate and for those younger guys to get a chance to get some varsity action. I mean, let me make sure I get his name right because it's the first game all season I've called it. But Brevin Harrison, the sophomore, scoring a touchdown in a varsity game. Had to feel pretty good for the whole team to get a chance to be able to get out there and celebrate like this tonight.
Yeah, when you're expected to go out and do this and you do it, you do what you're supposed to, and it's very good for these seniors to come out of their last regular season game. For the new guys coming in, it's very important for these reps. I think it's just good all around, A
lot of fun for everybody involved here tonight. As you can expect with the score 63-0, Roseburg scored a lot in this game. It was 49-0 at halftime. Roseburg adding touchdowns in the second half. Knox Hubbard gets one in from 14 yards out. A 7-yard touchdown run by Brevin Harrison. Those were your two scores in the second half for Roseburg. Roseburg also had 2 fumble recoveries in this one as they took one away on the very first play of the game. It was Logan Kloffenstein with the fumble recovery, and then Silas Kincaid gets one in the second half as well. Let's look quickly at some of the numbers for Springfield. They completed just one pass on the night, a 4-yard completion to the receiver. That was Dylan Schifferdecker, the sophomore, with the catch, but then fumbled it. That was the fumble in the second half. So we weren't really sure from our vantage point whether or not he completed the catch or if he had been down by the time he lost the ball. But the ruling on the field was a fumble, and Roseburg got it there in that third quarter. That was the one completion through the air for the Millers. On the ground, 6 carries, 6 yards for Connor Dye. Caleb Kasparek, the starting quarterback, had 11 yards on 6 carries. We do think he might have been the guy that went to the locker room on the cart here tonight. We did not see him after about midway in the second quarter. 24 yards on the ground for Gavin Coulter on 4 carries, coming in late in the ball game. Also 1 carry for 12 yards for Dwayne Fada tonight. And then also with a positive carry, Caleb Lemley for 6 yards. The quarterback that came in, number 7, we're not sure of his name. He had 4 carries for -7 yards. And also Julian Gomez, 1 carry for -2. On the other side for Roseburg, a lot of people got into the game. Colton Marsters was 5 for 7 through the air for 2 touchdowns, 132 yards. He connected with Landon Duper twice for 98 yards and a 63-yard touchdown. Logan Kloffenstein, 2 catches for 16 yards and a 10-yard score. Hayden Horton had an an 18-yard reception. On the ground, Caden Eckel carries 14 yards for 132 yards. He's 10 yards shy of 1,000 on the season, so he'll look to get that coming up next week in the first round of the playoffs. He had the 3 scores tonight. Also, Colton Marsters, 2 carries, 22 yards as he continues to add to his total on the season. He is now 22 is what I said, so that'll put him over 1,200 yards on the ground this year. Knox Hubbard came in, 7 carries, 59 yards, and a score. Dominic Titone, a couple of carries, 8 yards. Let's see here. There's a lot of folks in here. A 2-yard touchdown run by Dawson Gillespie tonight, his first touchdown of the season. Nicholas Parrish came in and got some yardage. He had 4 carries for 20 yards. We had a 7-yard touchdown run by Brevin Harrison, and then Ben Pascal had 3 carries for 25 yards here tonight. So that's kind of a quick rundown of it all there. There's a lot of people that got involved in a big 63-0 win for the Roseburg Indians here tonight. Let's take a quick look at where did my sheet go? There's my scoreboard for tonight. We were telling you some scores. 40-0, the final score. South Umpqua losing against Kalama tonight is what we've had reported. Douglas was trailing big against St. Mary's in one there. It was 35-0 at halftime. St. Mary's leading over Douglas. 41-0, your final score in that one. Sutherland was losing big against Cascade Christian at halftime, 49-6 in that one. So we got to assume that Cascade Christian goes on to win there down in Medford. And also going on tonight, Glide was hosting Rogue River tonight at 7 o'clock. So that one we don't have a score on just as of yet here this evening. So, that's kind of a look around some of the scores from around the Umpqua Basin here tonight as Roseburg wins 63-0. Coming up tomorrow, let's take a quick rundown at playoff action. Volleyball going on. Sutherland Volleyball hosting Yamhill Carlton at 1. Reed Sport Volleyball at Vernonia at 1. In the 1A playoffs, Umpqua Valley Christian travels to Echo for a 1 o'clock tip. Days Creek goes to Joseph for a 2 o'clock start, and North Douglas is hosting Perrydale in the second round of the 1A playoffs at 2 o'clock. And Roseburg boys soccer heads to Jesuit tomorrow for a 2 o'clock kickoff in the first round of the state playoffs. Roseburg marching band competing at Sherwood. Good luck to everybody coming up tomorrow. Roseburg football is going to be in the first round of the playoffs next Friday night. Our assumption is it will be a home game. Roseburg was at number 11. Clayton, you got to be top 16 to get a home game in the first round of the playoffs. And so Roseburg looks to be squarely there. We don't know exactly how this game tonight will affect it. We know Coach Heiberger telling us on Monday on my Off the Wall Sports Talk show here on The Score, telling us that you can drop down one classification and play somebody and it doesn't really affect so much your ranking as long as it's within one classification. So Roseburg 6A, Springfield 5A doesn't hurt you too bad. Springfield is ranked 22 coming into tonight's matchup. So overall, it kind of looks like it could be a, one that won't hurt Roseburg too bad. The fact that they blew them out does not equate into all of it. Roseburg at 11. Don't expect to see them jump up, but thankfully we don't expect to see them drop too much with this one here tonight.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see what we got next week, so I like our chances next week.
I was looking at it, if things were ending earlier today before games were played, and I think everything's going to probably change from where I was looking at it, but as it stood earlier, Liberty was our possible opponent in the first round. Liberty is they were tied for first coming into tonight, playing a game for the league championship this evening. They were ranked 20th. In the OSA Power, 22nd, in the OSA Power ranking as a possible league champion. Kind of brutal for the Liberty team there, but they could possibly have been a league champion coming to Roseburg to play against second place Roseburg out of the Southwest Conference. But that was how things were shaping up as a possible first-round matchup. Again, I'm expecting things to definitely change before we figure out exactly who's going to be our first-round opponent for the Roseburg Indians. The crazy thing was, if Roseburg had won, and on the other side of the bracket, if the team that was the higher seed won, Roseburg may have a rematch against Summit on the road at Summit in the second round of the playoff, because Summit came into tonight ranked 6th in the OSA Power Rankings, despite the fact that Roseburg beat them to start the season. So, as I said, the OSA Power Rankings, a little wonky, but we will do what we do, which is sit back and just let the computers figure it out for us. I've tried many, many times to figure all this stuff out, and every time I don't quite get it exactly right. So we'll just sit back and wait to find out what our plan is for next Friday night. But what we do know is we'll be there. Roseburg playoff action coming to you next week. It's going to be video streaming sponsored by Champion Car Wash. And thanks to many of our sponsors we'd like to mention here tonight, including Mahalo Heating and Air Conditioning, where you can get 0% financing for 72 months on approved credit now. Also, Good Vibration Solutions for home theater and automotive audio. You can feel it at Good Vibes. By DC Farmers Co-op, where everyone is welcome to shop. And by Cascade Community Credit Union, belong to Douglas County. It's time now to name our Mountain Mike's Pizza Player of the Game. I almost forgot about it. We should probably squeeze that one in here real quick. Tonight we're going to give it to Logan Klopfenstein. Huge game for that senior. Everybody had a really big game in a 63-0 win, but he did it in all three phases. Defensively, he came up with a fumble recovery and had a lot of big tackles out there. Klopfenstein had a 67-yard kickoff return for a touchdown, his third kickoff return for a score this season. Also scored a touchdown in the offense with a 10-yard reception for a score this evening. So Logan Klopfenstein tonight, Mountain Mike's Pizza Player of the Game, doing it in all phases. I thought he was a perfect choice.
Yeah, you do it all three, and he's been playing good all year, so why not?
Absolutely. It'll be the Mountain Mike's Pizza Player of the Game tonight. Mountain Mike's Pizza, the way it ought to be. If you stop by Mountain Mike's, look for our posters of the Player of the Game awards. We get those up with every 3 weeks of awards up there, so that's kind of cool to see those young men honored and celebrated there at Mountain Mike's Pizza. There's Logan Klopfenstein down there chatting with some of the student body out there on the field as they soak it all in on senior night, but they've got more games to go, and hopefully another one here at Finlay Field coming up next Friday night. All right, Clayton, any final thoughts as we sign off here tonight?
Hope for a good game next week.
Yeah, we'll look forward to it. Stay healthy, stay in game shape, and get ready to go for the first time since 2014. Roseburg football will be playing in November. We look forward to bringing you that there. I want to say thanks to the Springfield Millers for making the trip down here for tonight's ball game. I want to say thanks to Athletic Director Russ Bolin, head coach Dave Heiberger, and the entire Roseburg football program for allowing us to bring you another season of Roseburg football here on The Score. Want to say thanks to Clayton Brelich for help with the broadcast here tonight. Thanks to Gabe Rasmussen for help with the video production. And back in the studio, big thanks to Ben Hill for the radio production here tonight. And finish it out by saying thanks to you, the fan, for tuning in for tonight's broadcast, because, of course, without you, I'm just a guy sitting here talking to myself. I'm Joey Kieran. We will chat with you guys coming up next Friday night when the Roseburg Indians kick off the 6A state playoffs in the first round. We expect it to be a home game. Don't know the opponent, but stay tuned at 541radio.com. We'll get you an update online and tell you as soon as we know who Roseburg's facing in the postseason. You can find it there at 541radio.com. You can find it on our Facebook page, 1490 The Score on Facebook, or check us out on Twitter as well, 1490 The Score there on Twitter. We'll get that information out there, and we'll be talking to you next Friday night. As Roseburg kicks off the playoffs, we expect it to be a 7 o'clock kick, which would mean we'd be on the air at 6:45. You can catch Roseburg football all season long, streaming live online at 541radio.com and right here on Douglas County's home for sports, The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.